Yeah.
But how kind. Yes, thank you very much. I certainly am a pop culture fan. Let's put it that way.
You are a pop culture fan, but
I am.
That doesn't necessarily. I'm a pop culture fan too. I like. People might not know this. I don't come across this way, but I watch shows like The View, Kelly and Michael.
I would love to catch you watching The View one day, and I'll put a picture of you on Instagram watching The View.
Whoopi Goldberg is one of my favorite people.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She's really great.
Yeah.
And so, I watch those kind of shows. The one show, though, that everybody associates with pop culture, I absolutely loathe.
What?
TMZ.
Oh, well, it's a bit trashy.
I hate it. It's a terrible television program, in my opinion. What's his name? Harvey Levine or something?
Is it just because it feeds the stockerazzi industry that you don't like about it?
I think that's pretty much what it is. Because,
it's pretty bottom feeding.
I'm not famous, so I don't have these problems.
Yeah, yet.
But if I ever got to that point...
You're not famous?
No, I know. It's hard to believe.
Shocked.
If I ever got to that point, I would be in the tabloids constantly for knocking a paparazzi out. I'd have assault charges on me. Like, we're the media. You're not the media. You're an idiot with a camera that I'm knocking unconscious. Maybe that's why I'm not famous.
Maybe that's why. Could be. God's like, yeah, maybe not so much.
Today on the show, we got Jeff Halcomb in the second hour. Plus, Tanya Green will be joining us.
Wait, isn't Jeff Halcomb Mr. Water?
He is Mr. Water.
It's fun. He's a fun guest.
Tanya Green will be joining us talking about a real estate expo that I'll be doing my sports show live from Saturday morning.
Nice.
Big real estate. April is Fair Housing Month. I bet you didn't know that.
I now do know.
April is Fair Housing Month. Tanya Green will be on to talk about that. Plus, Fran's beard. But it is pop culture. And you and I just had a kind of a spirited discussion off air about television, but not of watching television. The Supreme Court has decided that they will take up a technological innovation hearing where entertainment conglomerates that own U.S. television networks, ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS, who, as you know, never seem to want to get along with each other, have come together to get along to sue a company, Aereo Inc., which takes the free TV signals from the airways and sends them over the internet.
So when you go to like the dollar store for not $1, for $9, you can buy one of those little USB
gadgets that
you plug into your computer, and then you can watch network television.
As long as you got Wi-Fi or something, yeah.
On your computer.
On your computer.
And they are challenging, the networks have come together to challenge that in terms of probably violation of intellectual property.
That's what they're saying.
Right.
And the company Aero is saying, no, it's just rabbit ears for a computer. You sell rabbit ears for a digital TV. All a computer is a smaller version of a digital TV, and this is its rabbit ears.
What do you think about that?
I think that television, this is the first time the Supreme Court's heard anything about television in 30 years. Because you remember 30 years ago, TV went and sued to try to get VHS made illegal. Because they didn't want people to be able to tape their soap operas and stuff like that because they would fast forward through the commercials. We know how that came out. TV lost. I think TV's barking up a wrong tree again.
I'm guessing that they've done a bunch of cost models and they've decided that it's cheaper to pay attorneys to go after this device than it would be to implement technology that would just further scramble the signal that would make it impossible for it to be picked up by devices. Because let's face it, most people, I know you're an exception, but it's 2014.
Right.
Most people have cable or satellite. Right. Most people don't use antenna to pick up the free signal that's broadcast by all the major networks.
You would think that.
Right. Do you have a number on how many people in the United States still use rabbit ears?
You would think that. But the TV networks are saying that they've lost, in the last 5 years, they've lost to pay computer where people are going to Netflix and
they have
Amazon. They've lost 20% of their watch viewership.
Well, but they also are unable, last time I checked, to track shows that are being DVR'd. So unless you're watching a show live, how much of that 20% is just people watching the shows later on DVR?
I know, and they don't have any way to track that.
They have no way to track that. So it's not necessarily that they've lost the viewers. And this is why live sporting events, Olympics, Super Bowl, World Series, all of those sporting events get bidded out.
Yes.
And the highest bidder, all the networks bid, and whoever has the highest bid gets the sporting event, the right to broadcast the sporting event live. Those bids have gone up tremendously over the past few years because it's one of the few things that people still watch live.
Exactly.
And so they can't fast forward through the commercials. So if you're an advertiser, that's where you want to be. As opposed to getting fast forwarded on the show that people DVR.
See, and I'm the exception there, not the rule either, because I literally, even the Super Bowl,
you still DVR.
I watched it at Marion Theater, of course,
right,
this year. But last year, the Super Bowl, I didn't DVR it. I just paused my television.
Right.
Did some stuff, got to cook, stuff cooked and everything.
Right.
I have an hour of pause time before it starts playing.
Right.
And then I have an hour built up. I don't deal with commercials that way.
Yeah, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the Super
Somebody
Bowl.
says, well, you're
sometimes
not watching it live. I don't care. I turn my telephone on and off and everything. And I don't do like Austin and Buddy do. But they follow Twitter while games are going on and everything.
It's a multi-platform experience.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I just watch the game. So it doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Bidding on sporting events have gone up because it's one of the few things people still watch.
They can get that top advertiser dollar for sporting event.
I think this is an argument, though, where TV's going after a ant. Instead of trying to get the whole colony, they're getting a single ant.
I kind of feel like it's like almost a distraction technique.
Yeah.
Look over here when they're really up to something over here.
That's exactly
That's what
I
it
think
feels
it is.
like to me. That it's cheaper to somehow make this noise with the Supreme Court than to do something or to distract from something else that's being implemented.
I don't see it. I do not see it too far off in the future where free TV is no longer free TV.
Oh, I agree. I don't
believe ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CW, the W, whatever, all those little. I think they're all eventually going to
I don't
go
know
to a
why.
pay-for-use
For years,
service.
I've wondered why you couldn't pay to opt out of commercials. That to me seems like a no-brainer. You can either watch the free network, programming,
Right.
or for a subscription, you can pay to have all that content and all that programming with no commercials.
Right,
which is what like Pandora does.
Like
for
Pandora
example.
does, or,
Right.
or like Ustream does that we use here in the studio. Ustream does the same thing.
Right. That's where I think we're headed. So there will become different tiers for network television. You can either get the freebie signal with the commercials, or you can pay a subscription to opt out of the commercials.
I think that's a great idea.
They should do that.
I think so.
I think that's where it's headed.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, celebrity birthdays, and then you have a special guest that kind of, in the second half of the hour, that kind of goes for both pop culture and healthy living.
Yes, we're gonna talk about for leading a healthy life is also following your passion and not being afraid to follow your dreams. And what does it take to do that? And we're going to actually talk with a working actress in Los Angeles who's doing just that.
Working actress.
Yes, and what it's like to
get
actually. Mindy Kaling.
Did you get Mindy?
I would have done it for you. She was a little busy today.
Oh,
I know you love her. Are you still loving that show?
I do.
Great show, isn't it?
I got upset that her and Dan. We'll talk about Mindy.
Okay,
in a minute.
that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah. We're gonna take a break. We come back. Celebrity birthday. See if Austin can. Did you win last week, Austin?
I don't think I've won
think you
since
did.
Lori came back.
Oh yes, you did.
No, he got handled last week, Lori.
You're the reigning champion, I think.
No, you handled him last week, Lori.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you beat him 4-1.
Oh, I'm not feeling so sharp
No,
today,
remember
so
I
you-
lost because I was like, hey, I'm proud I won the fifth one.
You didn't
because that
lose
made
as
me feel
badly.
better. Yes.
Right.
It was a
So it was
less
3-2,
painful.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back, celebrity birthdays. Plus, we'll talk a little Mindy Project when we come back, too.
Yeah.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget, owner of the brand new Proper Tees Salon. It's a perfect time to freshen up your cut and color for the new year. And if you really want to change up your look, talk to us about Hotheads extensions for extra volume and length. How about a blowout for date night? Give us a call. Enjoy some me time while you relax in our newly renovated salon and check in on Facebook using our free Wi-Fi. We know you'll be happy with your new look. We guarantee it. Our style guarantee assures you that no matter what, you will love your hair, or we will fix it for free. Call for your appointment today. 352-351-1771. We're located in downtown Ocala next to the Southside Deli. Tell us Buddy sent you for 20% off your first service visit. Now hiring licensed cosmetologists, nail techs, and front desk staff. Visit our website, thepropertees.com, for our online application. The Proper Tees Salon, timeless elegance meets classic sex.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. Jim is the owner of American Cable Services. He brings cable TV and internet into our homes, and he'll tell you what's in the works for the a la carte services, where you can buy one channel or two instead of 40 and pay all those extra fees.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then it's Horse Sense with the Equine Alliance of Marion County coming in to educate us about the industry that made Marion County famous.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart and her guests on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Amy Newmark is coming on, the publisher and the editor-in-chief for the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. She's got a book. It's called Chicken Soup for the Soul, Living with Alzheimer's and Other Dementias.
And then tune in for Quincy Bioscience. It's a pre-recorded infomercial, but they're going to tell you all about nutrient supplements.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Madame, how do you say Fun with Joe in French?
Amusement avec Joe.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Whatsupocala.com.
This is the Salvation Army, and I'm Major George Patterson to let you know that the Salvation Army is available 24 hours a day to provide help to anyone. We also have a family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala. On Tuesday to Saturday from 9 to 4, you can do your shopping, or if you want to donate, you can call 352-732-4469, and we'll even pick up 352-732-4469. All funds generated by our store go into the programs here in Marion County to help the needy.
Ocala. Pop Culture and Healthy Living Thursday. My co-host is Lori Martin. Gregory. Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I was having a mind
Say
meld
Lori.
there.
It's okay.
Lori, yeah. Lori and I were discussing the ramifications of the TV conglomerates, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, suing a company that is taking free TV and broadcasting it over the internet. We both think it's a move. TV's probably doing something else and using this as a smokescreen. Mm-hmm. But I know what Fox is doing. Fox is operating very good because they have one of the best shows on television.
Who told you about that show?
You told me about the Mindy Project.
Yes.
And I watched the Mindy Project, and instantly became hooked.
Yeah.
Because she is great.
Really smart, really funny show.
I'm a little upset with the show, though.
Are you?
I liked before her and Danny got together.
Right.
Because it left a
tension
there.
Yeah.
And now they broke up and they're back. You know, now they're
like
trying
Ross
to
and
create
Rachel.
right.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to create tension.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have to create tension before. It was always there.
Don't you think they're going to get back together sooner rather than later, though?
Of course they are, because people.
It was too fast.
It was.
It was too quick.
They should have. If they were going to get together, it should have been about season 5. Because let's be honest, the Mindy Project's going to stay on until we decide that it goes away. Lori, Martin, Gregory, and I will be the ones that decide when the Mindy Project go off TV. Lori's doing some sort of hand signals to.
Very similar to her dad yesterday.
Her friend out in California.
That's right.
Yeah, Buddy told a great story yesterday. Said that Terry Bradshaw didn't like to do autographs when he's eating.
Right.
And so this guy walked up while Terry and your dad were eating, and Terry looked at Buddy and he went.
Right. Hand
Buddy
signals.
looked back and everything, and
yeah.
Guy said, and Buddy said, he said, not right now, not right now.
Right.
So the guy walks off. Buddy's in the bathroom. Your dad's in the bathroom. Guy walks in and says, "I'm sorry, man. I had no idea Terry Bradshaw was deaf."
So funny. I'm so glad they've reconnected, and he's
Yeah,
going to be on the show
Terry
next
Bradshaw
week.
will be on the show next Tuesday.
Such a fun guy. I got to know him when I was living in LA, and just such a generous, kind, funny, sweet guy.
Your dad said his insides hurt from laughing.
Yes.
With the 55-minute phone call he had the other day.
He's the kind of guy. I was sitting in his apartment once in Beverly Hills watching a game with him, and he's like Uncle Terry to me, you know. And I'd been out in LA for a couple of years, and I was like, so, you know, this is kind of a nice apartment. I know you're only here when you do the NFL Today, and the rest of the time you go to your ranch, you know, back east. But, you know, he's like, yeah, I don't really spend that much time here. Like, look at this giant table. This is a giant dining room table that seats 14 people. You want it? I don't even want it. You want it? Just come get it. Just come pick it up. Like, he just kind of guy. Just gave me the table. I never actually even took him up on it, but he would just give you the shirt off his back.
You would have had a table from Terry Bradshaw.
I know, I didn't take it. I was a starving actress. I didn't have any place to put it or any food. I had no food to put on it. eBay, right. The eBay didn't exist. This was 10 years ago.
There you go.
Or maybe it did. I didn't think about it.
Speaking of didn't exist 10 years ago, celebrity birthdays, as we play it here, didn't exist 10 years ago.
That's right.
It didn't exist a year ago, but it exists now. And Austin takes a beating from you every week.
I know. Well,
let's see if he can
I'll
do
try
a
to
little better
lose today.
Celebrity birthdays. All right, Austin, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Lori?
Born ready.
Shamar Moore, Austin. Shamar Moore. How old is Shamar Moore?
Who is Shamar Moore?
He plays Derek on Criminal Minds.
Boy, I don't even know who that
African American guy that plays on Criminal Minds, played on The Young and the Restless for years.
Oh.
Shamar Moore.
Okay.
Now you know who it is, right?
Am I going first?
You are?
40.
40. Shamar Moore.
44.
Shamar Moore is 44 this week.
Come on.
Sorry, I got lucky.
Lori just right out the box destroying you.
Sorry.
All right, Lori, one of my favorite actors because I'm a huge Trekkie.
Okay.
You may not know that about me, and I don't like the Star Trek movies. Deep
I'm just
Space
glad
Nine,
it's
all
Trek
that.
and not Wars. I'm glad.
I like Star Trek, the 73 original TV episodes.
Yep. Best.
The rest of Star
Just a country doctor, Jim.
Exactly. Every time I think now of Scotty, of Bones, though, I think of that scene in Ace Ventura. I'm a doctor, Jim, not a pool man. Jim Carrey was so great.
So funny.
So, George Takei, who played Mr. Sulu.
Yes, he was one of the funniest
He is one of the
pages
funniest
on Facebook.
He's one of the funniest queens you'll ever meet.
Yes, hysterical.
And he tells you
Absolutely.
that he's one of the biggest queens in the world. He's a great guy.
Yep.
How old is George Takei, Lori?
72.
72. You know who Mr. Sulu is, don't you, Austin?
Sulu. Is it Sulu?
Yes.
What?
Sulu.
Speed.
I got nothing, but I'm going with 75.
He's 77 this week.
Wow,
Yes.
nice.
Hold that back even.
I gave you that one.
All right,
Austin.
Austin, this one's going to be pretty
my
easy
gift
for
to you.
Lori
Thank you.
may have trouble with this one.
All right.
Duck Dynasty fame,
Oh, Lord, I'm nothing.
Willie Robertson.
Zilch. I got nada.
Willie Robertson, the son that actually turned Duck Commander into a million, maybe even $1 billion industry. Austin, how old's Willie Robertson?
42.
Willie Robertson's 42 this week, Lori. Lori, how old's Google say he is? Oh, no, you're not Googling. Okay.
No, I'm going to guess the age of somebody I don't even know who they are.
You don't know who Willie Robertson is?
No idea.
He has a chia made after him.
37.
He's 42.
Yes.
Austin got it right on the number.
Are we doing 5 today or 10?
5.
Okay.
Austin, you're welcome.
Okay.
Thanks.
The first winner of American Idol, Lori, Kelly Clarkson. How old's Kelly Clarkson this week?
31.
31. Austin, how old's Kelly Clarkson this week?
35.
Kelly Clarkson turned 32 yesterday.
By a
32
nose.
yesterday.
Are we tied?
Yes.
2-2, down to the final one. And both of you will know this actor,
Oh, good.
but for obvious different reasons. Austin, you go first. How old is Channing Tatum?
Oh,
Channing Tatum.
from Tampa.
Yeah, he's from Tampa, and he's an actor in Austin's favorite movie. I know this to be a fact. Austin has it on his Facebook page.
Yep.
His favorite movie,
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. It's Austin's favorite movie.
Hottie.
Yeah, he made that up.
Hottie.
28.
28, Channing Tatum, according to Austin. Lori, how old's Channing Tatum?
29.
29. Today's winner, because Channing Tatum is 33, is Lori Martin Gregory.
Man.
She destroyed you.
Until next week, I guess.
I just got
You
lucky.
can't win fake or factoids. You can't win.
Wait. I can win fake or factoid.
No, bro.
He just doesn't want to.
I've never lost fake or factoid.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you lost 3 times last week.
No, I did not.
And I beat you yesterday.
Look, I'm like Oliver North. Look him up. You'll find out who that is. I do not recall.
Yeah, of course you don't, but I do, and I know the truth, and I won. So
You don't know why that was funny, Lori.
No,
laughed at
I
the
don't.
Ollie North reference. Oliver North was a man in the Iran-Contra hearings, Austin, that couldn't recall. I think he didn't even know his own name.
Now, if you'd watched Drunk History, you would know who these people are.
Yes, you would.
Best show on
I have
television.
to watch Drunk History. Lori turned me onto that show last week.
So funny. And if you have a smart TV or if you have a Roku or an Apple box, you can stream it on Amazon.
Can I get the little bitty
Nope.
the little bitty thing from the dollar store for $9.99 and get it that way?
It's not on network TV. It's on cable.
Oh, that's right. It's on cable. It's on Comedy Central, correct?
Yeah, it's not on Comedy Central anymore. They had the first season on Comedy Central, but it's not on there on demand. And they only have one season. The only place I have found it is on the Amazon platform.
Wow, okay.
So you can watch
So
it.
it's probably on YouTube then.
If you have Amazon Prime, which I highly recommend
Right.
since we live in Ocala and we can't always buy things that we need, Amazon Prime is great. It's $100 for a year, and you can get free shipping on most items with 2-day delivery.
Right.
And so if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can go onto their Amazon streaming platform, and there's a whole bunch of movies and programming you can watch for free that's
Wow.
included with your Amazon
Wonder if
Prime
West Wing's on
subscription. Might be.
'Cause,
But
see,
Drunk History's on there.
I
You
love
can
going
watch
back
it.
and just taking a Sunday
Yeah.
and watching 12 hours of the West Wing.
Allison Janney was so brilliant in
She
that
was so
show.
great as CJ
So
Craig.
great.
She was incredible. Martin Sheen, you know that was originally Martin Sheen was supposed to be a bit player in that show
Oh, he's such the perfect
because the president
though.
was not supposed
The
to
focal
be
point?
The focal point. The
Yeah,
focal point
but
was
he's
supposed
so
to be his
good.
staff.
Right.
But he was so great.
Had to have him.
That they had to have him.
Classic.
I mean, it's and the fact that Rizzo was the first lady was just great to me.
She was so great.
Soccer Channing's one of the.
She
is amazing.
So amazing.
She really
what an
is.
amazing actor.
We're gonna take a break. When we come back, Lori Martin Gregory has a guest
I'm
joining
going to
us.
talk to an amazing actor who's in LA living her dream.
Somebody we know, somebody we've heard of.
Somebody you don't know yet.
No yet.
You
Okay.
can say you knew her when.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We'll talk to her next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Sword.
If you feel like that's what you want to do, bring me down. Can't none bring me down.
Help Ocala! We are stuck with aging inventory that's got to go. Are you stuck too? Driving in an old car you hate? This month, if you help me, I'll help you get unstuck from your old ride so you can drive a nicer, newer car today.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. I can help you break free from that old car you hate. Here's how. 1, bring me in your old ride, and even if you're still making payments. 2, based on the sale price of the car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car. And 3, choose any nicer, newer car for my specially priced gotta-go inventory.
Easy breezy. Are you feeling stuck with bad credit muck? Our For the People credit approval process will work hard to unglue you from your bad credit luck.
So bring me in your old ride, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car.
But come quick, this offer won't stick around for long.
I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
You know, Austin, I'm sitting here at the computer looking at our Facebook page, and boy, we really need to tell more listeners about our Facebook page.
No, Tom. See, you got it all wrong. Twitter is the new age.
What's a tweeter?
No, a Twitter, Tom. The voice of Ocala has a Twitter.
We do? Well, how do we tell our listeners about that?
All they have to do is get the Twitter app or go to twitter.com, type in Voice of Ocala in the search box, and click follow.
All right, well, what's the tweeter do?
The Voice of Ocala's Twitter page updates all of its followers on the latest news, guests, giveaways, and contests.
Oh, okay. But couldn't listeners just tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 to 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, or even go to online at WOCA.com? Wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah, okay, maybe.
It's heating up.
For years, electric cigarette makers have had very little federal oversight, and the Food and Drug Administration is now looking at proposals to put some limits on the product that, instead of burning tobacco, heats nicotine directly into a vapor.
We are proposing to include the same age restriction, the minimum age of sale being 18.
And the FDA's Mitch Zeller says e-cigarette makers should also have claims about their products reviewed.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern, the Nevada rancher at the center of a national standoff with the government over cattle grazing, now facing sharp criticism for racist comments he made, published in a New York Times article, and an icon of American publishing ending a 131-year run.
Ladies' Home Journal is ending its monthly publication. Ad Age reports it will become a special interest publication sold on newsstands, but it will no longer be sold by subscription.
Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Ladies, how many pounds have you gained since turning 40? If you're like an average woman, probably 5 or more. How many times have you stood in front of the mirror and thought, I don't like my body, but I don't know what else to do? If this sounds like you, please call the Amberin hotline at 1-800-365-8470. At Amberin, we specialize in breakthrough solutions specifically tailored to women over 40, including hormonal balance, relief from menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats and sleeplessness, and effective weight loss. You see, after 40, the female body changes, so one-size-fits-all solutions may no longer work for you. We understand your unique challenges, and that's what makes us so different. Our solutions were designed specifically for you. So if you're a woman over 40 and you're tired of looking in the mirror and not liking what you see, call the Amberin hotline right now. Call 1-800-365-8470 and start losing pounds. Yes, pounds of extra weight. This exclusive offer is 100% guaranteed, but it won't last forever. So call right now. 1-800-365-8470. That's 1-800-365-8470.
Earn an income and regain your health. My name is Dave. I've been a type 2 diabetic for about 20 years. Before I was introduced to the product, my sugar was running in the 200s. Now it's anywhere between 80 and 100, and I earn $500 to $1,000 a month.
I lowered my cholesterol 100 points. Because I shared with other people, I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom. I've earned over $100,000 a year, and I've been able to travel the world with this company. I am very excited.
I'm Paul. I had a son with 60 food allergies, and he's done wonderful. I got laid off after a 24-year career. We started working this full-time. Within a year and a half, we had $4,000 or $5,000 profit every month. Recently, we had 1 month that went over $12,000. We love this company.
Do you need more income? The science of epigenetics is getting attention from the medical community, National Cancer Institute, American Heart Association, and others. Call Arlene and Dave 352-239-1032. 352-239-1032.
At Sears, it's happening this Saturday. The Lawn and Garden Demo Day, where you get to test drive a 2014 Craftsman Turn-Type 19 horsepower riding mower. This Saturday at Sears, shop your way with member bonus days, like 5% off instant savings, or 10% back in points, or 12-month special financing on lawn and garden purchases over $299. See store for details. Sears, this Saturday, it's Lawn and Garden Demo Day. Shop your way at Sears.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Austin kicking the tunes.
Yeah, who is that?
Mars.
Bruno Mars. Big record for him.
I'm a huge Bruno Mars fan, by the
Are
way.
you?
Oh, yeah.
Before at the Super Bowl or after?
Oh, before.
Okay.
Because Bruno Mars is in the same ilk to me. He's the modern day crooner.
He's kind of like, Frank Sinatra meets Michael Jackson.
With a little James Brown sprinkled
With a
in.
little James Brown and maybe a touch of Chuck Berry.
Exactly.
Like all rolled into one.
That's why I love
And maybe
the
a
guy.
little Prince.
That's why I love the guy.
Yeah, he's great. I love
I'm a
him.
huge Prince fan too.
Yeah.
Remind me someday to tell you about the Purple Rain tour and a purple sequin tux. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay, on my
Remind me
list.
to tell you that.
Yeah.
Right now, though, we need to go out to the phone lines because you have a guest, Lord.
I do. So I was really inspired today in the Healthy Living segment to talk about what it means to live your passion and your dream. Because to me, healthy living involves a well-rounded, balanced life that includes doing the things that you have to do, but also giving yourself permission to be creative and expressive and to play a little bit. And I've met too many people who are either at midlife or beyond that have regrets, and they wish that they had, either learned to play an instrument or had painted, or there's something that they felt called to do in their soul that they never followed up on.
I have one of those. It's writing a book. I've always wanted to write a book.
See, it's not too late.
Yeah, it's way too late.
It's not.
Can't write. But your guest follows her dream.
Well, she does. And so I immediately thought of my friend Caroline. Caroline's on the phone, and Caroline is a working actress in Los Angeles. And I thought, how great to get her on the phone and she can talk to us about sort of what her experience is like and what it means to really follow your dream. So, hey, Caroline.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining the show. It's so nice to have you call in.
Great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
So, first of all, what's it like in LA today? How's the weather?
It's perfect, of course. It's probably, 72 at the beach and low humidity, probably a little bit different than out there in Ocala, huh?
What I would give for low humidity.
What is it here? It's 86 degrees and
with
about
99% humidity. That's
and
right.
And the sun's up, sun's in the sky, and it's no chance of rain.
No, and it's April, and you can already feel like the scorching summer, like breathing down our backs. So it's
horrible.
on its way. Yeah, that's
I
really
bet.
great. Yeah, so I'm sure you're enjoying some of that LA weather. Okay, so take us back a little bit to when you first decided that this was a creative activity that you wanted to follow, and what inspired you to follow acting?
It was really just in my bones, I think, from very, very early on. I was sort of the opposite of a kid that has a, quote-unquote stage parent. I was telling my parents from, walking that I wanted to perform and I wanted to be in shows, and their perspective was like, if it makes you happy and it's what you love to do, then, why not?
Mm-hmm.
But, they were very kind of hard on the education side of things, and as long as that was done, then it was fine to kind of pursue these, creative endeavors on the side, like singing, dancing, acting. Of course, I don't have much of a voice, so the singing thing went out the window, but acting was always something that, I could never shake it. It was one, like you were saying just earlier, it was one of those, bugs, if you will, that I couldn't get rid of, and I knew that I had to pursue it just as a hobby or as a profession. It was something that was not ever going to be not on my mind.
Right. And so because you felt inspired and called to do this, is that why by the time you got in college, you actually ended up, weren't you a theater major at UCLA?
Yes, I was. I was thrilled when I found out that you could actually major in something that I considered fun in college.
Right.
Yeah, so yes, I was a theater major, and then following that, during college, I also studied simultaneously at a few different acting schools in the Los Angeles area because I wanted to really saturate myself with as much knowledge and as much training as I could so that I was as prepared as possible given that this is such a competitive town where everyone comes out, the majority to be something in quote-unquote show business. So.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's like if you live in LA and you're not in show business, it's kind of like living in Washington, D.C. and not being in politics.
Precisely.
You're kind of like on that outer circle of influence, and it's kind of like, well, if you're not going to be in the business, then kind of why are you here kind of thing. But for you...
Or how does your business relate to the business in some indirect way?
Right. Are you a cottage industry or a tangential industry that somehow supports the business? I know there's zillions of and I want to talk a little bit about this in a few minutes, but back in the day, like 5 years ago, you would still print headshots, right, on paper. Remember paper? And
remember black and white?
I do. I remember black and white headshots. And you would print headshots and you would actually mail them with stamps to casting directors, anybody that might actually get you hired. That really has changed so much now with the internet. But all those side businesses, printers and headshot, reproducers, they were making money just off people having to print headshots. I mean, they're probably like the buggy whip manufacturers when the car came along.
Right.
So how has so take us through. So you went to UCLA. You were a theater major. And
right.
Got to give you credit for here you are studying theater at a really great school, but you also spent time while you were in college studying at some of these independent theater companies. And what was that like for you? And did that sort of fuel your fire even more?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to me it was fascinating how many of the students at university were not pursuing acting on the side. As far as like actually trying to get jobs, and in a profession where your age can matter quite a bit. To me, it felt like, well, I have to strike while the iron's hot and get out there and, get an agent as early as possible. I think that my first agent in my adult life was probably when I was around 18, 19 years old, right when I started school. And yeah, I did simultaneously all the auditioning and acting classes and all of that. All through those 4 years at university as well.
So what's it like when you've got a dream, you're pursuing something that, most people sort of scoff at a little bit? I remember moving to Los Angeles and, I didn't really know that many people, and they'd say, well, what do you do? And I would say, I'm an actor. And I had such pride, and they would just laugh because there's like 9 billion, people in Los Angeles trying to be actors. You can kind of get beaten down a little bit. What has kept you going? You've had an opportunity to appear in some very interesting roles and to do some interesting bits, but you haven't had that breakout role. So it's 10, 15 years since graduating from college. How do you stay in the game and stay motivated without getting beaten down?
Well, I think that a lot of it does come from having a balance in your life. You're right. When you say in Los Angeles, oh, I'm an actor, people think it's really funny to say, oh yeah, where do you wait tables?
Right, exactly.
And for a long period of time, that was true. I was waiting tables and, you're working until 1 o'clock in the morning and then you're sleeping in until whatever time. And then you're getting up and doing it all over again. And you realize that you're not even actually doing anything for your career. And it can be really disheartening. You're meeting a lot of people that just got off the boat from wherever, and they want to make it big also. And you're walking into these auditions where everybody looks like you, but they're prettier and they're thinner, and they have more confidence. And it's really disheartening. And I think what I found was really trying to be balanced and centered and to understand that this is something that I enjoy doing, and what other people's opinions on it are, or whether or not I actually, book a role or not, is, doesn't make who I am.
Well, I think that's really key what you just said, because it's that old saying, do what you love and the money will follow. So if you pursue something, whether it's for a hobby or because you really want to make it a profession, but if you feel on fire and passionate about it in your heart, it almost to a certain extent doesn't matter what the world thinks of it, because you're getting satisfaction out of doing it just for yourself. And to be able to bring that kind of attitude, towards something as competitive as being an actor in Los Angeles is probably what's helped you get some success. I know that you were on the season finale of ABC's Private Practice a couple years ago, and it was so fun for me to watch you. be on television and to, have a speaking part. And I know how hard you've worked. Just to see you have, even an under 5 that was that visible was really thrilling. That must have been nice for you.
Oh, absolutely. But, to your point, when you do all this training, I mean, a lot of these, especially, at UCLA or, Playhouse West, one of the places that I took classes at, they're really training you for these kind of dense Meryl Streep full-bodied roles.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go in and you to say, the door's already been closed, you can't get on the plane. And I think that you have to be able to separate, and not put too much into it, or, you don't need to emotionally prepare how you feel about closing the door because somebody's not getting on the plane. And I think that you have to keep things in perspective. And I have found over the years that actually doing something, quote unquote, on the side that I really enjoy, that I really like also, because, we're multifaceted people and we like a lot of different things. To have something that I really enjoy going on otherwise has been really helpful, because I could walk into those smaller auditions and not feel like,
if I don't get this, I'm not eating dinner tomorrow.
Well, yeah, exactly. And also that I don't have to bring my tears and my emotion over my father dying into this 2-liner. It can be very easy and it can be very quick, and chances are they've kind of already made up their mind on what they want before you walk in the door. And if you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. And that's where I found to trust, without trying to sound too out there or too spiritual, but to really just trust the process and trust the universe and know that as long as I'm feeling the fulfillment and the working out of going into these auditions, that no matter how small or how big or what is being asked of me, that I'm still enjoying the process.
Right. It's like you get trained to run a marathon and then you go and you do a 5-foot sprint. You're like, wait a minute, I haven't even warmed up yet. We're done? How are we done? I don't know if you saw
I didn't even get to show you what I can do. I can also do pole vault,
Right. I don't know if you saw that Starbucks commercial. I think it was on like a year or so ago, and the woman starts out by saying, "Hi, guess what? I got the commercial. I'm so excited. I'm going to be the woman ordering the latte." And then she goes through this, maybe I'm really hungry when I order the latte, and she's trying to build this backstory. And then finally, by the end of the commercial, she's going, maybe I order a tea. Like she puts, it's like she's so excited, and really it's just she's going to be on camera for literally 3 seconds, and it's like boom, boom, and you're done. But you put so much of yourself into that process, and then it usually is required of you to do a modicum of what you're capable of doing. I think we're going to take a quick commercial break. Are we coming back and have a few more minutes with Caroline? If you can stay with us, you're listening to the Voice of Ocala at 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live, WOCA.com. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
WOCA, News Talk 1370. Good talk, great conversation.
Uh-oh.
Is that what I thought it was?
As long as you don't think it was me running over a sprinkler head, then no, it wasn't.
Oh, brother.
Don't worry about it. I'll just add it to the honey-do list.
If you had signed up for Mike Scott Plumbing's irrigation package in the first place, you wouldn't have to do anything.
What? Mike Scott Plumbing does irrigation too?
Yeah. I told you they have packages where they take care of everything.
Yeah, but I broke it, so they're not going to cover that.
But with their annual irrigation maintenance plans, you never have to pay for another service charge or broken sprinkler head ever again, regardless of the fault.
So that means I break it, they fix it.
That's what I said, Mr. Genius.
Okay, you win. How do I sign up?
I thought you'd never ask. Call Mike Scott Plumbing today and ask about their irrigation maintenance plans. 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
People want a partner who feels passionately about something, whether it's modern art, Italian cooking, or kickboxing. By declaring something as your passion, you'll weed out people who don't feel the same way. When our personal windows are broken, meaning we've let something slide, we start to feel that our lives are unmanageable and out of control, then everything starts to slide. Women now do find bald men much more appealing than men with a thick head of hair. It seems we now associate baldness with athletes and super action heroes.
Intelligence for your life. Don't miss this stuff.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
We're back wrapping up the first hour of the Voice of Ocala. Now back to Lori Martin Gregory and her guest.
Yes, Caroline Marici. Remember that name. Are you going by Marici or Gillette?
I thought I should stick with Gillette,
Yeah. Caroline Gillette does have that ring to it. No offense to Antonio, of course.
Well, it is the best a man can get.
That's right. That's right. So, okay, you're into this now about 15 years. Are you still excited about it?
Yeah, it's really shifted, though, because I think when I was younger, I had a perspective that my life would be whole and would be complete, once I achieved X level of success in that field. And now I've more incorporated it into my life, and I feel like it's become part of the balance. And any success that I have and any way that I get to express myself through that creative outlet is really beneficial to me. But I've realized that, this might sound a little cheesy, but it's way more the journey than it is the destination. And it's all been, the way I enjoy it is now different. It's no longer, I did this and now I got to get on to the next thing. It's more taking it all with a grain of sand and really, picking and choosing what I'd like to go out for, which I didn't think that I had the option to do before. It was like, I'll just take whatever comes my way.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, no, I really like my life. And I have a husband who supports me, and I'm not, sleeping on a couch, eating out of cans anymore, where it's like, if I don't get this commercial, I'm not going to be able to live.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, things have really opened up and have been a little bit more flexible and easy. And I think that it's really kept things in perspective, if that makes any sense.
And isn't it interesting, because now the roles you're getting are much more visible and much more successful, and you're trying less. But it seems like you've kind of put it in perspective and you've created balance in your life, so you have stability and a grounding at home, which gives you the opportunity. That air of desperation is gone. It's actually probably making you more attractive to casting directors.
Exactly, and to me that would be the goal. If I could talk to my former self, is to say, to not focus on, to not put so much on one thing, and to actually enjoy the journey and enjoy the process, and to walk in somewhere and say, what, if this is my role, then it's already mine, and I'm just going to show up and do my thing the best I can and leave, instead of putting so much pressure on yourself and then almost getting congested with that.
Right. And people can feel that energy, it's a turnoff. So, well, Caroline, how wonderful to talk with you. And thank you so much for sharing with us your journey and, what it's like. I really do think living a healthy life is balancing out, your responsibilities, but also giving yourself a chance to play and be creative and have a passion. And you've done a great job for that. We'll watch for you and see you in the movies.
Wonderful. Thanks, Lori.
All right.
You all, thank you so much. It's been great being on the show.
Thanks so much for joining us. There you have it.
So the message there is, if you achieve balance in your life, things you really enjoy and want to do will get easier to do for you.
And I think they like she was saying, in the beginning, she felt like she had, she had to. It's like, okay, she couldn't even enjoy if she booked a commercial because she was so worried about the next thing. And so she was future tripping, which prevented her from really enjoying the moment. And now that she's learned to just appreciate it and enjoy the journey, she's starting to get more work.
Well,
so I think there's a lesson there.
Balance in life. That's what you always preach. Balance in life.
Everything in moderation, including moderation.
There you go. Lori Martin Gregory. Another successful Pop Culture Thursday and Healthy Living Thursday. Lori, thanks so much for coming in. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coming up in hour 2, Buddy Martin joins the show. Jeff Halcomb, the water guru, the all-knowing waterman, is here. Plus Tanya Green. She's going to stop by talking about a real estate expo that's going on this Saturday. All that plus sports right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Because I'm going to make this place your home.
Help Ocala! We are stuck with aging inventory that's got to go. Are you stuck too? Driving in an old car you hate? This month, if you help me, I'll help you get unstuck from your old ride so you can drive a nicer, newer car today.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. I can help you break free from that old car you hate. Here's how. 1, bring me in your old ride, and even if you're still making payments, 2, based on the sale price of the car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car. And 3, choose any nicer, newer car for my specially priced gotta-go inventory.
Easy breezy. Are you feeling stuck with bad credit muck? Our For the People credit approval process will work hard to unglue you from your bad credit luck.
So bring me in your old ride, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car.
But come quick, this offer won't stick around for long.
I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself? Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's KT, the number 4, fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Attention Ocala and surrounding areas. If you want out of your old car and into a new one for less, turn up your radio now. Palm Chevrolet of Ocala will spring you out of your old car even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. 2014 Chevy Cruze, just $149 per month. 2014 Chevy Malibu, just $189 per month. Get $10,000 off any select new Chevy Silverado pickups in stock. Plus, GM certified pre-owned vehicles up to 50% off compared to new. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. Palm Chevrolet of Ocala has multiple banks and credit unions with the lowest rates for all types of credit. When other dealers say no, Palm Chevrolet of Ocala says yes. Palm Chevrolet of Ocala, 2300 Southwest College Road, exit 350, just east of I-75 in beautiful Ocala. 36-month lease, $28.90 due at signing, plus tax, title, license with approved credit, zero security deposit, trade balance carried to new loan. Offers not in combination. Find new roads. PalmChevrolet.com.
This is a public notice.
Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, loss proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Ukraine's foreign minister furious Russia's decided to begin military exercises along its border, saying Ukraine's people and army are ready to fight. President Obama spending a second day in Tokyo, asked about that agreement reached in Geneva.
Assuming that they do not follow through, we will follow through on what we said, which is there'll be additional consequences on the Russians.
Fox's Ed Henry traveling with the president.
Here in Asia, America's allies are wondering how hard President Obama will defend them against territorial grabs by China based on Russian President Vladimir Putin's power grabs in Ukraine, which continued today as the Ukrainian military's clashes with pro-Russian militants led Putin to warn consequences are coming.
3 U.S. doctors killed, an American nurse wounded at a hospital in Kabul. An Afghan security guard shot them. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Ladies, how many pounds have you gained since turning 40? If you're like an average woman, probably 5 or more. How many times have you stood in front of the mirror and thought, I don't like my body, but I don't know what else to do? If this sounds like you, please call the Amberin hotline at 1-800-365-8470. At Amberin, we specialize in breakthrough solutions specifically tailored to women over 40, including hormonal balance, relief from menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats and sleeplessness, and effective weight loss. You see, after 40, the female body changes, so one-size-fits-all solutions may no longer work for you. We understand your unique challenges, and that's what makes us so different. Our solutions were designed specifically for you. So if you're a woman over 40 and you're tired of looking in the mirror and not liking what you see, call the Amberin hotline right now. Call 1-800-365-8470 and start losing pounds. Yes, pounds of extra weight. This exclusive offer is 100% guaranteed, but it won't last forever. So call right now. 1-800-365-8470. That's 1-800-365-8470.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking, but be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome back to the program. Buddy Martin joining the program in progress. Thanks to Laurie Martin Gregory and to Tom Schmitz and the gang for an interesting first hour. We'll try to follow that up. Just a moment, Jeff Halcomb joins us. He's one of our favorites around here. We like having Jeff on just for laughs, but also like to have him on because he's very knowledgeable. Before I get there with Jeff, I just want to say that R.I.P. to Phyllis Hamp, longtime membership director of the Marion County Chamber of Commerce, big driving force behind the Christmas parade. She died at 76, died of a heart attack. She lived in Citrus, so R.I.P. Phyllis. For the Boys and Girls Club, got a call today from Carswell Ponder. He asked I mentioned the Americana Music Festival being held at Swampy's Grill on the Rainbow River in Dunellen on Saturday from noon till 6. Good music, good fun, good food, interesting collection of silent auction items, and a bunch of fun, he says, and entertainment for those in attendance. All proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Club of Dunellen. Very good cause. With that, it's time to bring back a guy who's probably been with us as much as any one guest we've had here. Well, close to anyway, because we like having him on. He teaches us stuff. And anybody who's insane enough to drill down the ground and say, I can find more water, give me a few bucks, and then find it, we love that kind of guy. And that's Jeff Halcomb, Director of Water and Sewer for the City of Ocala. Did I get that title right this time?
It's real close. It's Water Resources, but that's okay.
Well, it changes every week. Water Resources Director.
That's right.
Or Director of Water Resources.
That's right.
Could you take that down? I want Austin to write it down. I want to get it right next time. Jeff Halcomb, Director of Water Resources. One day I'm going to get it right.
You got it right just now.
Good to see you, Jeff.
Good to see you, too.
I know you've been up to a bunch of interesting stuff.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little about Silver Springs today and other things. But one of the things that I want to play back for you is the interview we had with County Commissioner Stan McLean, talking extensively about a number of things, but about Silver Springs in particular. From what we're hearing now is there's progress made. They're about to go forward with the state, and we will be learning this summer about what that entails, but there is some progress on the business side. I don't know how much is being made on the environmental side. Presumably some. You'd be able to probably speak to that a little bit. And have a little conversation about that. So what's happening down at your shop these days?
Well, I'll tell you, we've been real busy. We've been to Tallahassee, we've been to Orlando, and we've been meeting with the water management districts on many different levels, and it all has to do with the springs. You talk about Stan McLean, you talk about the county commission and everything that's going on in the city also, and there is a focus, despite what I've heard about that Senate Bill 1576, the Dean bill. I heard that there were some issues going on. I think it was a newspaper also. They talked about, some people were talking about some things, but there's a lot of focus on the springs, and I think a lot of people are trying to wrap their heads around how can we get the best benefit of the money that we're going to be spending for the springs, and there's a lot of things that's going on for that. So we've been busy trying to look at what kind of projects that we can get going. I know the county's been doing the same thing, and again, it all has to do with trying to get the springs into a different place from where they are right now.
Well, it's certainly a big topic. Of course, they have the Silver Spring. They have the Spring Fest this weekend at Silver Springs, where a lot. Lisa Saup was in here earlier and talked about it, and they're going to have music and food and things of that nature. Sure. And it's going to be like a one charge, like $8 for a carload, or $2 for a motorcycle, whatever, on Saturday, and that takes place. Music, food. There are going to be tours. You can go in the water and do some things. So it's going to be kind of neat to see. Kind of a return to Silver Spring. Something you and I have talked about a lot is that we finally got the walls down and people can go back there as a park, which is great. That's just phase one. Now, the other part of this is how do we build it up and build it into an economic driving engine that we can capitalize and give jobs in our community, which is, I think, going to be the big test this summer.
Yeah, I think that's important. But I want to say about Saturday. Saturday, I think, is going to be one of the busiest times I've ever seen in Ocala and Marion County, because you got the March of Dimes walk that's over at the Greenway. You got Arbor Day Festival also going on. Tuscaloosa cleanup. Y'all are going to have all that. And the spring. Yeah, so there's all kinds of things going on for Saturday. And Brett Etheridge is coming, downtown Citizen Circle also. So there's a lot of things going on that you can't be bored on this Saturday. There's a lot to do in the city.
Plus, I'm having a garage sale. No, not. Oh, yeah. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Okay. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot. Well, people love to do things in April.
That's right.
While everybody's here, before they go to the mountains and the lakes and take off, April is a very busy month, and of course, school year. So that's good. So now, here's a question I've never asked you. We'll just take a couple of minutes to reflect on this before we go to break. I never have asked you this question about your testing of the drinking water. How often you do it? How do you do it? What does it entail? Could you give me kind of a 1-minute summary of what that's about?
Right. At the plant, we're testing the water all the time. And what I mean by that is that every hour or so, we're testing the water quality. It's a process control. So we soften the water in the city. So in that process,
Softening by means. Explain what that means.
When the water comes out of the ground, our wells are 200.
water?
Yeah, it's hard water. So what we do is we'd use lime and a lime slurry, and that removes the hardness in the water. Okay. Basically, is what it does, and it takes the hardness down to it's around 112 milligrams per liter. And that is considered fairly soft. It's not real soft water, but it's a lot softer than, say, the 300 milligrams per liter of hardness that we normally would have in the water.
What we could tell about it when I was a kid is if you had hard water, your hair stood on its end when you washed it.
That's right. Or you could hardly ever get the soap to soap up.
Exactly. Exactly. You use soap forever, and this keeps it. Yeah. So it's a regular testing.
So we test it every day. Also, every month we're out in the distribution system, and we have to test for several things, and make sure that the chlorine residual, disinfectant residual is right. Mm-hmm. And we also test for lead and copper, so on. And then annually there's samples that we have to do to send to reporting for, it's like there's 147 different kind of analytes that we have to test for during those times. So we're sampling the water all the time.
Mm-hmm. Just straight up, if I had said, raise your right hand and tell me, how pure is our water?
It's awesome, I can tell you. And I wouldn't have any problem. I don't care how many Bibles are here. Mm-hmm. Our water is some of the. It's so unbelievable. When I say this, I think about it every time I come on here. But we are so fortunate in this area to have the quality of water that we have. It is unbelievable, the quality of water that we have.
Well, you and I have been talking about this for quite a number of years. I remember I did a magazine story years ago. I don't know, 8 years ago, whatever it was, and you taught me a little bit about water, which I still only know a little bit. But I could recognize the importance of being on top of an aquifer. That was my first lesson.
Sure.
And so, and then learning about our water and how lucky we are. We always say this is our greatest resource.
I would think, besides our people, that it is one of the greatest resources. Sure.
Yeah. Jeff Halcomb, he's what's this? Where does it go? Oh, here it is. Wait. Jeff Halcomb, Director of Water Resources. How you like that, huh?
Finally, after 2.5 years, you got Jeff's title down.
After Austin wrote it down for me.
I thought Water Czar was what you were always just going to go with.
But I thought I should be a little more respectful. On the 88th time he's been on the show, I ought to get his title right.
I actually like Water Czar.
Okay, Water Czar. But we come back. We're going to talk about Silver Springs a little bit from the standpoint of what it means to our community. We talk about water and also about. We don't hear much about Adena Springs anymore. I guess that's a good thing. And you mentioned the big thing we got going on out there Saturday. And I'm going to ask you about what your opinion is in terms of how we're doing on the cleanup, because I know you're not involved hands-on with it, but you know about it. You know a lot about it. So we'll get that, and then we'll get some conversation we had earlier with Stan McLean about the springs itself and about what it means, and get your thoughts about that. You good for that?
Absolutely.
All right, Jeff Halcomb, Water Czar, coming back for more right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Water, cool, clear, water. Keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's the devil, not a man, and he spreads the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free and it's waiting there for me and you?
Song we usually play for our segment Around the Water Cooler at 5 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but our industrious young producer decided in honor of the Water Czar, he'd play our famous Cool Clear Water song. So just that's for you, okay?
I love it.
Right there. Well, that'll be your theme song from now on, okay?
Yeah.
You know how when you walk out on one of the night on like the Letterman show, they have a theme song.
Right.
You come in, we'll play that for you, all right?
It kind of sounds like, it's a lead-in for on The Searchers, John Wayne. When they're searching for water and that kid, that was pretty good.
Well, they used to sit around the campfires and sing that kind of music back in the day. Who's that? The Purple Riders of the Sage or something. Anyway, I got these charts in front of me before we get to the Silver Springs thing. Well, let's do the Silver Springs thing first. Let's get to that. I'm going to get these charts. These are interesting charts about pricing of water, about where water exists, about the lower Floridian aquifer that you. Will you get credit for discovering that, by the way, like Columbus discovered America?
No, I don't think
They call
so.
this the Jeff Halcomb aquifer. I think I'm going to give it to Jeff Halcomb aquifer.
No, I think a lot of people probably get mad at you over that one.
Hey,
it wasn't me.
Get in line, okay, on that.
Okay,
deal.
all right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked to Stan McClain earlier, and we talked about Silver Springs and what it was and what it could be, et cetera. And this doesn't pertain to the water per se, but it's all about Silver Springs. Here's a bite that our assistant producer picked out for us for you to hear about. This is Stan McClain talking about Silver Springs.
My vision hasn't changed since the first day.
Okay.
I think that
Silver Springs and the surrounding properties around Silver Springs, all the state-owned land, the federal land, the county land, all those things need to be interconnected. They need to have interconnectivity, and you need to allow people to be able to use the properties that we've spent tax money on to buy and purchase and those things. And but what we have to do is we have to include the private sector. We've got to find a way to allow the private sector to participate in the process because, and this is a word I've been using now for several months, the private sector can create velocity of any project, beyond government, beyond what government should really just try to set the parameters for the ground, set the ground rules, set the parameters and say, look, you're going to be using land that belongs to the people of Florida or the people of Marion County or whatever it might be. Here's the parameters, but here you can use this property in a responsible manner, but the private sector can create the velocity.
All right, so this is really the first time we heard much about that because I know, as Stan McClay was saying, he's having ongoing meetings with the people in Tallahassee, the Parks Department. We thought after hearing him talk, Tom and I agreed on this. This is the most optimistic we've heard. We told Stan this, that we've heard him since he started talking about Silver Springs. Now, which gives us reason to think, well, maybe something is going to happen. Right now, in terms of your position on this, aside from the water part, which I know is really where you live, what is your take on where Silver Springs is now, what it is, where it's going?
One thing, let me say something about Stan. Isn't it nice to have somebody who is unwavering in their thoughts about what they want to see at Silver Springs? And I think that is the most important thing that you want to take and grab a hold of. You have an elected official that could be anywhere across the road nowadays, with what they're doing, but he's chosen to stay the course, and I think that's really important.
It's a great point. And for one who always is getting mad at officials for not saying anything and being wishy-washy, I'll give kudos to Stan for doing that.
Absolutely. And and what he's talking about, it makes perfect sense because at the end of the day, it's like your kid riding his bicycle. Someday the training wheels have got to go off, and as bad as you hate to let it go, sometimes you got to let the bicycle go. And when they take that first pedal and they actually make it, that's what we're hoping. I think that's what Stan's looking for. He's saying, listen, man, we've carried the load. All we want you to do is just the private sector come in and help this make successful. So it's a sustainable success and one that everybody can get around.
What that does to all of us, it gives us a little hope that maybe things are going to happen. That's called leadership.
Absolutely.
You can actually motivate people to say, all right, pay attention and let's follow along here. This is what we need. And your point's really, really well taken. Mm-hmm. Said better than I could say. Maybe you should be a talk show about Stan. All right, in terms of what it is and where it's going, what do you see?
I'd be looking out the window too much. What do I see it's going? As long as we can have more than one person, more than one Stan, okay, as long as we can get some folks in the private sector, like he talked before, and other people involved in the fact, this is what I run into all the time. I run into all the fact that everybody says, you go ahead and you carry the torch. I'll support you. But I never see anybody out there trying to block all the bullets that we get hit by all the time. So what we need to be able to do is that we should help Stan, we should help the commission, help the council, realize that goal, and that goal is, and what I see for the Springs, okay, is that if we're allowed to be able to have a little money, to spend a little money there, we're going to be able to do great things at that Springs. And that is, you see a lot of things coming down. There's a lot of things that have to go, so the parking lots and things that have to go. The connectivity needs to be there. I understand that they're trying to find some money to build some more cabins. Have you ever been out there to the cabins? You seen those?
I have not been in them, but yeah, they're great. I love that part of it. That's a great plan.
So it's that Silver River State Park is such a great asset.
Absolute gem.
Yeah, and so to be able to have some, I hope they have rural connectivity. I hope it doesn't get, really busy kind of road connectivity, just some connectivity they can have by, being able to have a tram or be able to have something so that there's minimal traffic, but it can be left in its natural state as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So reducing any runoff from anything like that. So to me, there's a lot of positive things. I know that a lot of people are angst because, when politicians a lot of times get involved in things from the state or anywhere, that things start to degrade over time, because the trouble with a politician is that everybody in the world wants that politician to do everything they want. The problem with that is that if you're a parent, you know you can't make your kids happy all the time. So I think there has to be some happy medium that we can all live at, and I'm hopeful that the Springs will turn around. And we talk about a lot of different things that have to go on, though, buddy. There's a lot of things that I think that we miss, and that is, for some reason, when I talk to people, and I go out and have talks with them, one of the things that I get all the time is that, well, you know, everybody's taking too much water. Well, you know, my goal is not, and the county's goal is not to stop people from coming in. The idea is that we're supposed to be able to apply a service. When somebody moves in, they can turn the water on or be able to put a well in or whatever. So those are the things that we wrestle with. Now, there's things that people can do, though. And I hope that people look at Ocala and they look at Marion County. Ocala is the city, okay? It is supposed to be compact in its development. When I look at the county, I see that it should be rural in its development. So those are the things that I think that we need to be looking at when we talk to our leaders. Are they promoting those things, and are they the wishes of the people?
Yeah, and we talk about water conservation. That's one of the things you can do, which we'll talk about next time you're on. I've heard that song a lot from you over the years. I'm finally learning. I'm getting there.
All right.
Looking at your you got some charts here I want to talk about real fast. And Tom's got a question he wants to get into. It's a pretty good question. I've got a chart here talking about comparison of both the water and the electricity.
Yes.
In terms of, there's this perception that we got really high electric rates. At least it feels like that to me every month when I get it. And I guess it's all relative. If you buy a car and you say, I paid $25,000 for this car, and somebody says, well, I paid $35,000 for the same car in Jacksonville, you don't feel quite so bad, right?
Right.
The point is, this is not television. We can't really show this, but this is a chart. It's not a pie chart. It's a chart. These are bars, and this has Gainesville, Leesburg, Central Florida, Sumter County, Alachua, Duke Power, Ocala, and Clay in terms of how much you're paying per 1,000 kilowatts. And I'm surprised to learn I'm not surprised to learn that Gainesville is leading the way. I'm really surprised that Leesburg is in second place, and Central Florida, is that Orlando? Mm-hmm. Is second. But here is Ocala, all the way down here, way down toward the end, of $118.64 in the 14th percentile versus Orlando, or say Gainesville's $141.15 for the per 1,000 kilowatts. So obviously that's quite a big difference. I can figure that math out. That's what is that, 25% or whatever more. So consequently, not so bad, huh?
No, and I think it's important. Go ahead. I know you want to talk about the water, and then I'll talk about both of them.
All right. The other one is the water, which again, we all obviously think we paid the highest. It's like living in a town with a newspaper. Whatever town you live in, the worst paper in America is always yours. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I've lived in 6 pounds. Every place I've worked, they all say they're the worst paper in America. That's just how we think, right? The highest water bill, whatever it may be. Anyway, so I'm looking at one now with the county, our county, which shows 6,000 gallons per 6,000 gallons. The county it costs you $73.93 for 6,000, and the chart goes on down to Escambia County, which is Pensacola, Jacksonville, Gainesville, Miramar, etc. I won't read them all the way down. And then I look at Ocala, and I said, let's take one in the middle, which would be, let's say, City of Gainesville, $65.75. And now Ocala is $10 below that. So that number is impressive. What we're going to have to do is wrap this quick because the break's coming, and we'll come back and get your comments on that part. Okay. All right? Yes. And so you want to make a quick comment?
I just want to make the comment is that when we come back from the break, is that while we're thinking about the break and everybody's about to chew my head off on all those costs, is that remember what we're going to talk about is the utility services bill, and the water and sewer is only part of that bill.
Okay.
And so when you talk about those cars that you were talking about, you bought your car in Jacksonville, but did you get a CD player in it? Mm-hmm. Did you get air conditioner in it? Did you get power seats and power windows? So it's important to know what the difference is.
Other services with your water and light bill.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can touch upon those. We got 15 seconds. Go.
Okay, so one of those, let's take the electric first. If you look at your electric bill only, in other words, in the city, we have a utility services bill, so everything's on that bill.
Okay.
So be able to, that's crazy that song's on.
She can't hear it now. Okay, we'll take a break, come back. I'll let Jeff, the Water Czar, figure out what he wants to talk about here next. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
'Cause I'm happy clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
You know, Austin, I'm sitting here at the computer looking at our Facebook page, and boy, we really need to tell more listeners about our Facebook page.
No, Tom, so you got it all wrong. Twitter is the new age.
What's a tweeter?
No, a Twitter, Tom. The Voice of Ocala has a Twitter.
We do? Well, how do we tell our listeners about that?
All they have to do is get the Twitter app or go to twitter.com, type in Voice of Ocala in the search box, and click follow.
All right, well, what's the tweeter do?
The Voice of Ocala's Twitter page updates all of its followers on the latest news, guests, giveaways, and contests.
Oh, okay. But couldn't listeners just tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 to 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, or even go to online at WOCA.com? Wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Ukraine's foreign minister furious Russia's decided to begin military exercises along its border, saying Ukraine's people and army are ready to fight. President Obama, spending a second day in Tokyo, asked about that agreement reached in Geneva.
Assuming that they do not follow through, we will follow through on what we said, which is there'll be additional consequences on the Russians.
Fox's Ed Henry traveling with the president.
Here in Asia, America's allies are wondering how hard President Obama will defend them against territorial grabs by China based on Russian President Vladimir Putin's power grabs in Ukraine, which continued today as the Ukrainian military's clashes with pro-Russian militants led Putin to warn consequences are coming.
3 U.S. doctors killed, an American nurse wounded at a hospital in Kabul. An Afghan security guard shot them. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Ladies, how many pounds have you gained since turning 40? If you're like an average woman, probably 5 or more. How many times have you stood in front of the mirror and thought, I don't like my body, but I don't know what else to do? If this sounds like you, please call the Amberin hotline at 1-800-365-8470. At Amberin, we specialize in breakthrough solutions specifically tailored to women over 40, including hormonal balance, relief from menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats and sleeplessness, and effective weight loss. You see, after 40, the female body changes, so one-size-fits-all solutions may no longer work for you. We understand your unique challenges, and that's what makes us so different. Our solutions were designed specifically for you. So if you're a woman over 40 and you're tired of looking in the mirror and not liking what you see, call the Amberin hotline right now. Call 1-800-365-8470 and start losing pounds. Yes, pounds of extra weight. This exclusive offer is 100% guaranteed, but it won't last forever. So call right now. 1-800-365-8470. That's 1-800-365-8470.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. Jim is the owner of American Cable Services. He brings cable TV and internet into our homes, and he'll tell you what's in the works for the a la carte services where you can buy 1 channel or 2 instead of 40 and pay all those extra fees.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then it's Horse Sense with the Equine Alliance of Marion County coming in to educate us about the industry that made Marion County famous.
Join Kelly Fuqua Hart and her guests on Ocala Magazine Magazine Radio.
And then Amy Newmark is coming on, the publisher and the editor-in-chief for the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. She's got a book. It's called Chicken Soup for the Soul, Living with Alzheimer's and Other Dementias.
And then tune in for Quincy Bioscience. It's a pre-recorded infomercial, but they're going to tell you all about nutrient supplements.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Madame, how do you say Fun with Joe in French?
Amusement avec Joe.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates, but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful.
All right, back with Jeff Halcomb, Water Czar, also known as Director of Water Resources. I want to get this in because we got a tight schedule here, and we present these bar charts here and on water and electricity, and you made a comment about, well, it's not just those two things in your bill, the other things go in that. What else goes in that?
Yeah, if you look at utility services bill, there's the trash pickup. And remember about the trash pickup. And I want to say that because if you do live out in the county, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that if you live in the city, in your trash pickup, if you throw some grass or sticks out on the side of the road, somebody's going to pick them up for free. Mm-hmm. Well, they're in that bill.
Right.
If you want to have your recycling done, all you got to do is set it out at the curb.
Right.
Somebody from city's taking care of that.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it down to and wait in line because the thing broke down at the landfill. Yeah. So there's a lot of things in that bill that you don't even think about. In the water. I know we were talking a little bit about Tom about his own well and everything. If you have a water break, you just make a call, and for free we come out and we fix the leak if it's on our side.
You don't have to buy a warranty service at all.
You don't have to buy a warranty service on our side of the meter. And then if something happens, you're not paying $100 for us to come out and take a look at it. We come out and take a look at it for free. So there's a lot of things that you get in that bill. But the most important thing I want to say is that we soften the water, we treat the water, we treat it to the higher standards that we can, and you're doing it for less than a lot of other folks. And the last time we've had a rate change was probably in June of 2008. It's been a pretty long time since we had a rate change. Not saying that won't happen.
Right.
I'm just saying that's part of it. And same thing with electric. Is if you look at your electric, if you live outside Ocala electric system, look at how they bill you. They want to bill in tiers. So Ocala doesn't bill their residential customers in tiers, so take a look at those. So it's important to really understand your bill, and if you have trouble or want to know your bill compared to somebody else, we'll help you out.
Right. All right, thank you for that. All right, we're going to shift gears here. We got to go have you on the panel for a fake or a factoid. And
can I have some backup?
Yeah, you can have help. You can have help. You can have your moral support because, well, let me ask these guys. Is it okay with him getting some backup?
It doesn't matter who I beat.
Yeah, okay. All right. Introduce your backup.
Okay. This is my daughter, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey?
She has to get over there on that side.
Yeah, you get on the side.
Because that won't work. All right, Corey, go and help save your dad, okay? All right, here we go. Corey's going to, Corey, and hi, Mom, by the way.
Yeah.
Hi,
Laura.
Here we go. Got the music rolling here. We go. All right, here we go. Just say fake or factoid. Then after the questions, we'll have a number you'll have to guess closest to. Number one. Fake or factoid? Most women are left eye dominant.
That's an unfair question. A woman's playing. That's an unfair question.
1 point minus for Tom right there.
I'd say fact.
You say fact.
Fake.
Fake.
2 fakes and a fact. Jeff says fact. Jeff's wrong.
You didn't consult.
It's fake.
I didn't consult. I
See, you
apologize.
should have asked. You missed out.
I'm sorry.
I even set you up saying
All
that
right,
there was a
you're in a
woman
hole,
player.
but Corey will bring you back. Here we go.
I'm
Number
even
2.
worse than a hole.
The right eye is usually the most dominant for right-handers.
Fake.
Fake.
We'll all go down. Fake.
You should have said fact. Go the opposite. You can't win if you keep doing the same thing they're doing, Jeff. It's fact. You had it. All you had to do
I was going to say it.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Now, come on. You only got one more miss.
I know.
Oh, you would set Greg Graham's record here if you don't watch it. All right, here's number 3. Would Jeff go out on 3? I don't think so. Number 3. If being one-eye dominant is a problem you've been experiencing for a long time, you can fix it by suppressing your dominant eye's vision, thereby forcing your other eye to do the job and rewire your brain. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Sounds crazy enough to Drew. I'm gonna say fact.
Okay, fake.
No, let's try to do it. No, never do it. No.
That's 3 and out.
Oh, man. All right, we'll let Corey play the rest of the way.
Okay, all right.
Here we go. Corey's subbing in. There we go.
Okay.
3 and out. Number 4. This is a good one. Nose hairs grow 4 times faster than hair under your arms.
Fact.
I say fact.
Fact.
Anybody want to change their answer?
No.
Nobody?
I'll change mine. I'm fake.
Good. You're smart. It's fake.
Like father, like daughter.
There you go. All right. Okay, what's the
So
score?
far, the Jeff Halcomb team has not got one right. They've missed every
Yeah,
one.
but they're going to get better right now.
Austin's missed 1. I've missed 2.
All right, here we go. Number 5. Fingernails grow nearly 4 times faster than toenails.
Fact.
I say fact.
Fake.
Austin says fake.
Austin's wrong.
Austin's wrong. It's fact. Is Austin out?
No, I got
2-2.
All right, here we go. Here's your mulligan round.
But the Halcombs have scored a point. They got one right.
There you go. All right. All right. Got him the scoring. Here we go. This is the second round. Real quick, got to get finished there. Eating pineapples can lengthen your lifespan by 18 months.
Fact.
Fact.
What the heck? Fake.
Ding, 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 ding. Corey scores 1. Yeah. It's
Austin
fake.
and I are both out of 3, so.
So now you get to go round 2. Corey's in leading round 2. And finally, these two, avocados have more protein than any other fruit.
Fact.
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 It is fact. Everybody got that right. And finally, electronic cigarettes are illegal in 7 states.
Fact.
Fact.
Fake.
It is fake. Austin gets that point. All right, how did we do?
Austin won.
Austin won?
Yeah.
All right.
So
there
we
you go.
both had missed 3, and Austin was the first one in the mulligan.
All right, there you go. All right, here we go. Here's the number. Snails can sleep up to how many months? Snails can
20 months.
20 months.
72 months.
72 months.
3 months.
3 months. The answer is 36. Who was closest? Tom gets the number today. Hey, Corey, good job. Next time you come back, you can do this for your dad, all right?
Okay.
All right. Hey, Jeff, good to have you, man. Always
to
a
be
pleasure.
here.
Thanks for coming in, and keep the water flowing, will you?
Will do.
And
Sounds good.
When you go and explore that lower Floridian aquifer again, do take a flag and plant it down there and say, this is the Jeff Halcomb aquifer from now on.
No, I don't.
Good to have you.
Good
Thanks
to be
for-
here. Thank
Let's
you.
go ahead and take our break real quick. Austin, go ahead and take our break right here. Okay, we'll come back. We'll have our guest next right here, coming up next. Tanya will be joining us next, talking about the real estate
Expo.
Expo
this
coming up
Saturday.
next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at party time.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
You know what that anticipation feels like when you're about to open a gift? In a Box offers personalized gifts. Everything you'll need for that special occasion. In a Box. Holidays, birthdays, graduations, spa days, weddings, anniversaries, get-wells, and more. In a Box. Visit inaboxcelebrations.com and pick your theme. There's even a corporate option. In a Box creates the magic, and you'll be the rock star. Visit inaboxcelebrations.com, partnered with Woodley Gardens.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.46% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 4/30/14.
You know how the time flies, only yesterday was that time.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Thursday. By the way, we will be downtown at Mark's again next week. We haven't picked the day yet. Probably Wednesday. We'll let you know for sure. We'll be making our regular stops down there. And 2 or 3 times a month we'll be downtown and representing some of the things they're doing down there in the city. And also most of the time we'll be on the Cindy's front porch there, as we call it, at Mark's Prime Seafood and Steak, which is one of our favorite spots in all the city to be, especially this time of year when we've got great weather. Tomorrow we have our Ask the Cops show. Sheriff Chris Blair and Chief of Police Greg Graham will join us at the Gateway Bank, where we are every Friday. And this is a story I'm sure we'll talk about. You always wonder about the crime rates, and it seems like there's more crime than ever. And, the fact is that major crimes in Marion County have decreased by 5.1% in 2013 compared with the year before that. So the categories include murder, forcible rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle theft. So the number of cases went up in 2012 and now have dropped again in 2013. I believe we're now joined by Tanya Green from Central Florida Legal Services, who joins us today to talk about the real estate expo going on. Hi, Tanya. How you doing?
Good afternoon. How are you, Tom?
Tanya, that's actually Buddy Martin, the host of the show, but I'm right here with him as well.
I'm old. I'm sorry.
No, I'm old, Tanya. You're not old. Tanya, thanks for being on. If we crossed your wires, we apologize. But in the time we got here, can you just tell us what the real estate expo is, what's going on?
The Ocala Marion County Board of Realtors has so graciously partnered with Community Legal Services to do this expo. And what we want to try to do is we want to try to let people know what their fair housing and fair lending rights are. We want to talk to them about the agencies that have money for down payment assistance or for anybody that's trying to, first-time home buyers. And so it's going to be like a one-stop shopping. There'll be people there to talk to you about if you have credit issues, title companies, if you want to buy a piece of land, what's the first thing I should do. And more importantly, there'll be realtors there that will assist you with, what's the first thing I want to do if I'm looking to buy a home.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want some money. I'm able to pay for it, but also I want to know where it's located. I want to see the home.
Absolutely, and that's what realtors do. They provide a very valuable service to folks that are trying to buy homes. First of all, we want to know how much you qualified for. Realtors will want to know how much money you qualify, and then they pull up the houses that they have listed in that price range, and they take it from there.
Well, that's good because we have a real estate show here on Wednesdays with Dave Cope, but one of the things that you're telling us is this is exactly what we talk about on the show is a lot you have to know. And you hear these things. I'm so confused. I hear about HARP. What is that? How does that work? For people underwater. I hear now there's subprime lending going on, again, with Wells Fargo. And a good realtor can take you through some of that, help you navigate it because it gets real confusing.
Absolutely, and like I said, the realtor is a very honorable profession in that they stay on top of the different kinds of programs that our government has in place to assist people who are, if they need to renegotiate their mortgage, if for instance you mentioned being underwater, if the house is worth more than it costs. Mm-hmm. To buy in. And so a realtor would be very, very knowledgeable in terms of, for this area, there's a special program being financed by, Marion County Community Development Block Grant or the City of Ocala. Because the thing about, home ownership really generates our economy. And so that's basically why that we have these programs, because we want to keep because the housing market is trying to come back. Mm-hmm. And so we want to try to keep that momentum. We want to educate people, and we want to let them know that there are some guys, some mortgage companies, some lending institutions that are not our friends. And they say one thing, and you put all this money down, and then by the time you get the closing and you get your loan docs, that everything is kind of changed. So you want to be careful. You need to know what predatory lending practices are.
Yeah, there's some hidden costs in those closing costs too. You got to watch those things.
Right. And with the realtor walking with you step by step, they will be there to say, okay, now remember, this is what your closing costs are. Sometimes the owner will pay the closing costs, and sometimes the buyer is responsible for the closing costs.
So, Ms. Green, this Tom again, this real estate expo this weekend will help you with all those questions that you can get answered. All, like you said, a one-stop shop. It's
Absolutely.
The Ocala.
We're going to have educational seminars going on throughout the day. I know I'm going to be doing the first-time home buyers class. We're going to have people there talking about foreclosure. You can speak to an attorney if you'd like. There's going to be people there talking about, what is credit?
Well-
How do I determine and maintain a decent credit score? What if I have credit deficiency? These kinds of things.
Certainly. So now let me ask you this: we've talked about what it is and where it's what we're doing. Now, where can people go? Where is this taking place, and what times, and how can people find out about it?
It's going to be at the Ocala, Marion County Board of Realtors offices on 14th Street. You'll have to forgive me. I don't have the exact number, but they can call me at my office, and that number is 629-0105, extension 2928.
And this is Saturday. This is taking place in.
Yes, it's Saturday, April. What is Saturday?
26th. It's April 20th. I'll be actually doing my Saturday morning sports show live out there at the Expo.
Wonderful.
Just follow Tom's voice. Yeah, just follow my voice. You'll find the Expo.
I believe, let me see. I have to be there at about 8, but I think it goes from like 10 to 4.
Yes, ma'am. It certainly does. And I look forward to meeting you out there. Thanks so much for calling us, letting us know about it. And if you need to get any more information, it's 629-0105, extension 2928.
That's correct.
All right. Thanks so much, Tanya Green from Community Legal Services. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. All right, there you go. It is kind of difficult to understand all that stuff.
It's really difficult to understand it. And this is a one-stop shop where you can go find it all out all at one time.
I bought about 5 or 6 homes in my time, and I've never understood it, so I'm still trying to figure it out. Imagine buying your first one. All right, coming up on Buddy Sports page next, we're going to talk about a local guy making it big with the Florida A&M Rattlers yesterday. So Forrest Wildcat stepped up big on the mound. We'll tell you who that is. And is it Michael Jordan or is it LaMarcus Aldridge? What in the world is going on there with the Portland Trailblazers? We'll tell you all about that coming up next on Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
But you walked across my heart like it was Texas, and you taught me how to say.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
If you missed Dr. Buddy recently, you've missed that sometimes Dr. Buddy doesn't know everything, so he brings in Dr. Buddy Jr. for help.
There's a stage before a relationship called talking. The talking phase is where you first start to text the person. You get their phone number. You start to Snapchat them, which is a new thing. Most people don't know what Snapchatting is. It's basically taking a picture and then kind of texting it to them. And then once you find out, oh, well, maybe this guy is all right or maybe this girl is all right, then you continue, and then you get to take them out on the date. Now, if you survive after the first date and you go to the second or third, now we are dating. But before the dating process, you are now talking. So it's talking, dating, and then when you get to ask the girl to be your girlfriend, you are then in a relationship, girlfriend.
So remember to tune in to Dr. Buddy every Monday on The Voice of Ocala on WOCA, The Source.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige. It's all there in our name.
Hi, this is Isaiah. I'd like to introduce you to Phoenix Infinitum LLC, which is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business right here in Ocala. Phoenix Infinitum is your one-stop tactical outfitter with tactical gear made to exceed military specifications, like backpacks, range gear, canine equipment, armor carriers, and medical supply bags, manufactured right here in Ocala. We also offer concealed weapons in tactical training classes conducted by Force 4 Training. Phoenix Infinitum is located at 851 Northwest 24th Court in the Bryan Industrial Park. Visit us on the web at phxunlimited.us. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Or just give us a call to see how we can help. 352-351-3535, 352-351-3535. That's 352-351-3535. Phoenix Infinitum, purveyors of awesomeness.
It's time to get those DIY projects started, and right now at the DIY Home Center outlet in Ocala, you get laminate flooring starting at just 99 cents a square foot, and that includes the pad. We've got hundreds of rolls of carpet and vinyl at discount closeout prices. Kitchen need an update? 3 lines of all-wood cabinets in stock to save you up to 50% on all-wood custom kitchens, and the largest selection of mobile home parts in Ocala. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
At Sears, it's happening this Saturday. The Lawn and Garden Demo Day, where you get to test drive a 2014 Craftsman Turn-Type 19 horsepower riding mower. This Saturday at Sears, shop your way with member bonus days, like 5% off instant savings, or 10% back in points, or 12-month special financing on lawn and garden purchases over $299. See store for details. Sears, this Saturday, it's Lawn and Garden Demo Day. Shop your way at Sears.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
A guard kills 3 U.S. doctors, wounding a nurse. The Americans volunteering at a Kabul hospital.
Any such attack on civilians at a hospital is despicable and cowardly.
State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki disturbing reports about a VA hospital here.
Republican Congressman Jeff Miller, who chairs the House Veterans Affairs Committee, said last week that as many as 40 veterans trying to get treatment at the Phoenix VA hospital died before they could be admitted. Now the Veterans Affairs Department says its independent Inspector General is looking into the allegation.
Fox Radio's Steve Taylor at the close on Wall Street. The Dow unchanged, the NASDAQ up 21, the S&P up 3. Yankees pitcher Michael Pineda suspended by Major League Baseball for 10 games, 2 starts, for using pine tar during last night's loss to the Red Sox. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Ladies, how many pounds have you gained since turning 40? If you're like an average woman, probably 5 or more. How many times have you stood in front of the mirror and thought, I don't like my body, but I don't know what else to do? If this sounds like you, please call the Amberin hotline at 1-800-365-8470. At Amberin, we specialize in breakthrough solutions specifically tailored to women over 40, including hormonal balance, relief from menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats and sleeplessness, and effective weight loss. You see, after 40, the female body changes, so one-size-fits-all solutions may no longer work for you. We understand your unique challenges, and that's what makes us so different. Our solutions were designed specifically for you. So if you're a woman over 40 and you're tired of looking in the mirror and not liking what you see, call the Amberin hotline right now. Call 1-800-365-8470 and start losing pounds. Yes, pounds of extra weight. This exclusive offer is 100% guaranteed, but it won't last forever. So call right now. 1-800-365-8470. That's 1-800-365.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of Buddy Sports Page. Glad to be with you on this day. Got lots of stuff to talk about today. Basketball, NBA. We also got a local guy makes good for the Florida A&M Rattlers. Tell you about Alex Carrasco, known up in Tallahassee as William Carrasco, who took to the mound against the Florida Gators yesterday. Tell you about that story. Also, we'll revisit some of the things we discussed yesterday. Interesting segment with Michael Compton, local thoroughbred writer, Blood Horse freelancer website, Michael W. Compton, talking about the Derby hopefuls from Ocala. 2 direct connections there, which he told us about. Can you remember their names, Tom? Think about it. I'll get back to you. All right. And of all things, here's another pine tar incident. The most famous pine tar incident in the world was about a bat. Was a bat, not a ball. But this is if you're going to have a pine tar incident, I would not suspect that you'd find it on a pitcher's neck. But incidentally, that's what happened. And what in the world was he thinking about? Please.
And the thing was, this is I guess he's Latin, but he looks like an African American. So I guess he thought he could get away with it all,
because he was dark skinned.
Right, he's dark skinned, but. When you looked at the video, when they walked out, I said, well, obviously he's got something on the back of his neck.
Yeah, we're getting into Austin's story right now. I'm sure it's one of his leads, so we'll let him tell us about the headlines. So you and I will talk about it. You're right. That's a very good point. I thought the same thing. NFL schedule. I did Joe Wade's show today in Denver. He'll be on with us tomorrow. And he pointed out, I didn't realize it, that they had an entire show on the NFL schedule yesterday on television.
Yeah.
Now, I make fun of the draft because after all these years, they've created an event out of it. It's become like a show, and I always say that they don't keep score. How can it be an event? It's not a sporting event. It's an event, but not a sporting event. But now they've taken the scale. What's going to be next? What kind of show will there be on, let's say, a regular show on referees, or a regular show on mascots, or a regular show? I mean, how far can they go? But
what's wrong with referees, buddy?
They're okay. I just don't want to see a whole show about them.
There's nothing about a referee that's good.
Anyway, I think the idea is that it's what people want because they can't get enough football, and the NFL has done a masterful job of marketing football. We'll talk about that. I got to look at something I got out of the NFL. I think it's yesterday today. Which team has the easiest road? Which team has the harder road? You really can't tell because you don't know how good these teams are going to be. But anyway, this is one person's perspective. In golf, we got a story about a big tournament coming up this weekend, which Tom will tell you about, Mr. Golf. And what's Tiger Woods going to do? Well, we'll see. Talk about his recovery. All that coming up. And who in the world is the Marcus Aldridge? Wow, what a performance. We'll go now to the headlines desk and talk to Austin and see what is happening in the world of sports, Austin.
Well, buddy, the top headline of the day, you guys already mentioned it. Michael Pineda received a 10-game suspension for having a foreign substance, which is pine tar, on his neck on Wednesday's game last night against the Red Sox. He was ejected by home plate umpire Jerry Davis in the second inning of their 5-1 loss to the Red Sox after Boston manager John Farrell complained about a smear on something on the right side of Pineda's neck.
By the way, it was the most passive rejection I've ever seen. You're like this. He went...
Yeah, and Pineda, as soon as the umpire come out there, Pineda knew it. As soon as the umpire just said... Like that.
Didn't do it that much.
He just threw him out very nonchalantly. Yeah. Pineda didn't even just walked away.
Yeah,
there was no
protesting. Yeah, that was probably the least resistive.
And remember, this comes off of Pineda in a game against Boston earlier this year, where they thought he had pine tar on it, and they said something, and Pineda said, "No, it was dirt on my hand. It was just dirt."
Yeah,
and so it wasn't there the next inning, so they didn't catch him. Well, this time they caught him.
Yeah. What else, Austin?
Los Angeles County's District Attorney's Office has referred Alden Smith's airport arrest earlier this month to Los Angeles City Attorney's Office for misdemeanor consideration. Alden Smith has a court appearance Tuesday on felony gun charges and a drunken driving charge in Santa Clara, California.
How about the bomb?
The bomb, well, he said bomb, but obviously he's going to face misdemeanor considerations for that.
I thought they'd throw him in prison for that. Anyway, go ahead.
If Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson is advising Carmelo Anthony on what he should do in New York, and Oscar Robertson's basically telling him that he would tell him to leave. He said, "I would leave today if I was Melo." Wherever that kid has gone, where he was at Denver, they had a team that fooled around with the ball and they made him shoot. No matter what he does in New York, they're going to criticize him. The people are going to criticize him because you got guys on the Knicks that cannot play. You got guys that are hurt all the time. So interesting, Oscar Robertson coming out and saying, Melo, get out.
Guess what? They have the same thing in a bunch of other NBA cities, too. So just because the Knicks got a lousy supporting cast, they got plenty of teams with lousy supporting cast.
Yes, well, Michael Phelps in the water has qualified fastest for the 100-meter butterfly final in his first competition since retiring after the 2012 Olympics. Obviously, now he says he wants to come back and come out of retirement, so he qualified the fastest in the 100 butterfly, which is interesting. Next headline, Richard Sherman feels that the best way the Seattle Seahawks could show him their love and appreciation would be by showing him the money. Surprise, surprise. Sherman says, whatever they feel I am due, I will take it as respect. It's all about respect in this game, and the only way people show the respect is dollars. We'll see what happens. You agree with that, buddy?
Well, I know he ought to get paid. I mean, let's face it, he's a premier cornerback. He just shut down a corner. He had a great game in the Super Bowl. He was awfully low-key, but he didn't pop off about it during the Super Bowl. And I'd say, I certainly agree that is true. I mean, if you're going to be a great player, get paid like a great player.
Final headline today, buddy. Former Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar believes he was removed as a TV commentator for the team's first preseason games because of slurred speech he attributes to concussions sustained in the NFL. The Browns announced Wednesday that Kosar is being replaced with Solomon Wilcots, and the team says it's also exploring other media roles for Kosar, but he is not able to be a commentator for the preseason games because he says it's because of his concussions.
Well, here's the thing. Didn't that the guy audition for crying out loud? They're going to wait till they hear him on the air to figure that out. I mean, I think I've heard Bernie Kosar's announcing it's not very good. And maybe there is some truth to the slurring. It might be part of it. Great quarterback and did a great job at Miami and had a heck of a career in the NFL, but that might be a reach.
Yes. That's all I got for headlines today. But
all right, time back to the Pine Tar. I just was a little I kind of caught me off guard. I thought the Pine Tar thing when we were past that. Apparently not.
Well, first off, is there anything that should be made as a coincidence that every time we talk about Pine Tar incidents, the Yankees are involved somehow?
Well, they have had their share of
Billy Martin got George Brett thrown out of a game and got a home run taken off the board and got him called out for Pine Tar.
Right.
Now Pineda's wearing it. If you're gonna, I thought, buddy, that if you're going to, and he said, they use Pine Tar on bats for grip, and so he's, they're going to say the Pine Tar is used for grip on the baseball and everything.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. It's not anything that makes the ball, just lets him grip it better.
Yeah. Well, at one point, so one of the commentators brought up, I forget who it was, that as a hitter, he didn't mind that because they throw more strikes and he gets a chance to hit the ball more.
Right. So, but if you're going to try to, I guess, cheat, because wasn't it Gaylord Perry that said if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, or something like that? And he carried emery boards in his pockets and everything.
Don Sutton was one of the worst.
Right. But if you're going to try to cheat like that, don't you have to hide the pine tar, like on your glove or something like that?
Well, maybe he thought he was hiding it.
A big splotch on the back of your neck that looks like somebody has taken and melted a chocolate bar, a dark chocolate bar on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Well,
it just doesn't seem like a way to hide the thing.
And you think you would spread it out. I mean, he got some controversy about doing it about 10 days ago against the Red Sox, and now
Here he is right
back in a more obvious position. I mean, before it was on his hand, and now it's on his neck. I mean, you think you'd just want to spread it out a little bit,
Yeah, I know. This goes on, I guess, all the time, and I guess it was so blatant they had to do something about it. According to what the commentator said on TV, this is pretty random in baseball. They allow you to rub the ball up and all that kind of stuff. And, some guys put that Vaseline or whatever on it. They do dirt on it. If I was them, I wouldn't let them rub dirt on it. I'd just say don't, if you do it. Why is it every ball that gets fouled, they throw out of the game?
I know. It makes no sense to me.
And you let pitchers sit there and just sort of rub them up. And
remember back in the day, buddy, now if you throw a ball and it hits the dirt and the catcher hands it to the umpire immediately and they throw it out of the game.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, they'd foul the ball off the first baseman and run it down, throw it back into play, and they'd still pitch it. They'd still pitch with it.
Absolutely.
Ball hit the dirt and the catcher blocked it. He'd just throw it back to the pitcher.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't understand. I watched a special on History Channel. You know how they do modern machines and everything? They were talking about the making of baseballs. They take a brand new baseball and they throw it against a wooden object. It's like a plate, a wooden panel or something, and they throw it against that 150, 200 times before they put it back in the box to then send it to the major leagues.
Yeah.
It's not a brand new baseball, pristine. Yeah. They've already dirtied it up and messed it up a little bit before they ever send it to the major leagues.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the big deal is.
I was just caught a little off guard by it. I didn't think we had that much. Most of the pine tar I associate has always been with bats. Although I guess maybe that's not exactly right. I just always thought of the so-called spitball, being the spitball, and the emery boards being used for that kind of thing. I didn't think much about pine tar.
Remember, the Negro brothers were both blamed. Phil and Joe were blamed said they grew their fingernails long so that they could cut grooves into the baseball and everything.
They also threw the knuckleball. Yeah. When you throw a knuckleball, you do put your fingernails in it.
I know.
It's not a knuckleball.
No, it's your fingernails.
I tried forever to throw the baseball as a pitcher with my knuckles, and I finally figured out I'm doing it wrong. You should put your fingernails in.
Right. It's dig your fingernails in. But people have been trying to get an advantage in baseball since the beginning of time. And, if Pineda's going to do this, I think that just like PEDs, 50 games, 100 games, out of the game forever. Yeah. Cheating's cheating, right?
Could be. I'll tell you who's not cheating. LaMarcus Aldridge, 89 points in 2 games. I don't know when he became Michael Jordan, but wow. We'll talk about the NBA. We also got a rewind segment on the Derby. I'll tell you about the horses that Michael Compton favors coming up in the Kentucky Derby. We got Tom's commentary yesterday, which we'll pre-play on Baseball Replay, and I'll tell you about why I'm giving Will Muschamp a mulligan, all coming up right on the Round of Water Cooler here on a Thursday on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
For more information, call the McDonald Agency at 352-622-2333 or visit us online at themcdonaldagency.com.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of the Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course, the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly "Are You Kidding Me?" rant. So join me, Austin Tapman, and Josh LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for the Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Help, Ocala! We are stuck with aging inventory that's got to go. Are you stuck too? Driving in an old car you hate? This month, if you help me, I'll help you get unstuck from your old ride so you can drive a nicer, newer car today.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. I can help you break free from that old car you hate. Here's how. 1, bring me in your old ride, and even if you're still making payments, 2, based on the sale price of the car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car. And 3, choose any nicer, newer car for my specially priced gotta-go inventory.
Easy breezy. Are you feeling stuck with bad credit muck? Our For the People credit approval process will work hard to unglue you from your bad credit luck.
So bring me in your old ride, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car.
But come quick, this offer won't stick around for long.
I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Alice?
Yes, George?
Guess what I have?
Could it be the free truck used from Devon Self-Storage on 200 across from Hobby Lobby?
Yola!
Yes. Now don't forget to bring it back when you're done to Devon Self-Storage.
Yes, Alice. I'll even remember to call them at 873-0777 to make sure they'll remember me.
George, I'm sure they'll remember you.
Thanks, Alice.
Oh, George.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. Jim is the owner of American Cable Services. He brings cable TV and internet into our homes, and he'll tell you what's in the works for the a la carte services where you can buy one channel or two instead of 40 and pay all those extra fees.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then it's Horse Sense with the Equine Alliance of Marion County coming in to educate us about the industry that made Marion County famous.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart and her guests on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Amy Newmark is coming on, the publisher and the editor-in-chief for the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. She's got a book. It's called Chicken Soup for the Soul, Living with Alzheimer's and Other Dementias.
And then tune in for Quincy Bioscience. It's a pre-recorded infomercial, but they're going to tell you all about nutrient supplements.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Madame, how do you say Fun with Joe in French?
Amusement avec Joe.
Like it or not, springtime is just around the corner, and so is spring cleaning and those winter projects you've been putting off. But don't worry, Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now.
You know, Tom, I was thinking about this. I know one proud mother. I'll tell you about it in a minute. The mother of Alex Carrasco. We'll tell you about Alex and his performance.
You know how you can make her even more proud?
I got a feeling, I think I'll join you guys. A big pink boxer.
If Alex would sign up for the Mother of All Mother's Day giveaway.
Make his mama real happy.
I mean, listen to all the stuff we have so far.
That's something new today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Listen to this. You get a cut and color and all from Proper Tees. Fitness classes from KMF. Gift certificate from Mark's Prime. Dinner for 4 at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. A Mojo's gift card. 4 movie tickets to the historic Marion Theater. 2 rounds of golf at the Ocala Golf Club. And just added today, 2 tickets to the premier Mother's Day event in Ocala, Symphony Under the Stars.
You know, the only other person that gives away more than that is you on Tuesdays, but even that might be top right there. So check it out. Mother of All Mother's Day contest, easy to enter. Look for the pink box and down at Proper Tees, also here at WOCA. You're going to be sorry if you don't put your mom, sister, or friend in this pink box to win the prizes for Mother of All Mother's Day. Speaking of mothers, Alex Carrasco's mom's pretty happy. I know that George is too. Yesterday, the former Wildcat pitcher went to the mound the first 3 innings for 3 1/3, I believe it was, for Florida A&M. and did his job, set the tone, got it going. And Florida A&M managed to beat number 6 Florida yesterday 4-3 at McKeithen Stadium. It was the first win for the Rattlers over a ranked opponent since beating Miami in 1980 in Tallahassee. So a big win there, and a couple home runs. Ryan Kennedy, Jeremy Barlow for Florida A&M, and of course, as I said, starter William Carrasco, as they call him, or known as Alex, formerly the Wildcat pitcher, opened with 3 strong innings, allowed 1 earned run and 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. So congratulations to Alex Carrasco for a very impressive performance.
We need to try to get Alex on the radio. He has a great story.
It's a fabulous story about overcome a head injury, which I think is an inspiration. We hear a lot about head injuries today in sports, and Alex overcame a big one, and he's got a great story.
Great story, and now he's pitching at FAMU and came in and beat the, for lack of a better term, the hometown team, basically.
Can you make that happen, you think? You know anybody?
I know somebody.
Okay, good. Well, I'd like to get him on. Speaking of getting on, yesterday we talked about Florida football because it's still, even though it's April, we got Joe Williams on tomorrow. He'll want to talk about college football, I'm sure, like he did on his show today, about who all these quarterbacks are. The quarterback shortage in the SEC. And, you've lost Aaron Murray, Johnny Manziel, et cetera, all the quarterbacks around the league. And, who are the quarterbacks going to be?
A.J. McCarron's gone. And so it's going to be Jeff Driscoll's terrible. There you go.
Jeff Driscoll's not terrible. That's what I said to Joe. He may be one of the best of the bunch right there. But anyway, here's the deal. Am I going to stay mad at Will Muschamp forever?
I'm not mad at him.
No, because you love him.
I just don't think he can coach very well.
You're not mad at him because your team beat him.
I think Muschamp should stay here longer.
Exactly. But, however, we've been really critical on this program, and justifiably so about it. I'm not backing off of that. But in the end, you have to make a decision as a fan. Are you going to stop supporting your team because you have a bad year, or does the song, "We all stick together in all kinds of weather," is that really true? Well, yesterday, this is my commentary about giving a mulligan to Will Muschamp. A mulligan for Florida Gator football. Maybe it's time to embrace a little amnesia about last year's 4-8 record and put that loss to Georgia Southern in mothballs for a while. Let's get out of that blame game. It's Obama's fault. It's El Nino's fault. It's Muschamp's fault. Do I think Muschamp is the worst coach Florida's ever had? No. Do I think he overcoaches his coaches, handcuffs his offensive coordinators, and has lost the inside track on recruiting skilled offensive players? Yes, I do. Do I think it's time to give Muschamp a mulligan, or at least for the first half of the 2014 season? Yes, I do. I also think all the fun is gone from Florida football. Fun as in fun and gun. Remember those days? They are probably gone forever. But there's no reason watching Gator football has to be like getting a root canal. And so here we are in this mess, downtrodden about the past, hoping that the fog will lift over Gainesville. Right now, it's not so great to be a Florida Gator as far as football is concerned, despite all the success in the program elsewhere. Football is where most of us really live. And sticking together in all kinds of weather, well, not so much. There's just a line in a song that seems a bit hollow these days. The Gator Nation is fractured. Losing football games is not the worst part. Losing fans and support is not good. Losing faith can be tragic. Yes, time for a mulligan for Will Muschamp. All right, speaking of mulligan, golf coming up this weekend, a big event here for us locally. Tom Schmitz, Mr. Golf, is going to give you a report on that Saturday on your show, too. What's up with the camp this weekend?
The Henry Ann Camp Invitational, 63rd year, buddy. 63rd year. And this year, somebody different will win it because Joe Alfieri's not in the field this year. If you know, Joe Alfieri's won his record 5th camp last year, back-to-back wins, but he's not in it. So look for Kelly Goss. He's going to be in it. He was last year's runner-up. Steve Albright, a very good friend of the show. You look for him. But here's who I'm picking to win the camp this year, Matt Giovanelli. Matt Giovanelli has had a great spring so far. He's won the tournament out at Pine Oaks recently. He's had a great spring. He's won 2 or 3 different tournaments, local amateur tournaments around the area. And I think this is Matt Gio's year to win. Matt Giovanelli. He was in the last group last year and really choke the lead away to Alfieri because Alfieri's so consistent. But I think Matt's got his game under control, and I look for Matt Giovanelli to win the camp this year. I don't think he'll win going away, but I think Matt Giovanelli will be your winner this year.
The Henry Ann Camp Invitational, one of the premier amateur events anywhere in the South.
Ocala Municipal Golf Course.
It's a good golf. Go out and check it out this weekend. And a lot going on, including, we mentioned earlier, tons of stuff happening. Silver Springs and Tuscaloosa Park. It's going to be a busy weekend.
I'll be at the camp. Going tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday.
Camping out at the camp. All right, on the other side, we'll hear what Tom has to say about baseball and the instant replay coming up on Buddy Sports Page.
1378 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
You know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy that alone if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down.
Help Ocala! We are stuck with aging inventory that's got to go. Are you stuck too? Driving in an old car you hate? This month, if you help me, I'll help you get unstuck from your old ride so you can drive a nicer, newer car today.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. I can help you break free from that old car you hate. Here's how. 1, bring me in your old ride, and even if you're still making payments. 2, based on the sale price of the car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car. And 3, choose any nicer, newer car for my specially priced gotta-go inventory.
Easy breezy. Are you feeling stuck with bad credit muck? Our For the People credit approval process will work hard to unglue you from your bad credit luck.
So bring me in your old ride, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $4,075 more than the appraised value of your old car.
But come quick, this offer won't stick around for long.
I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
If you didn't catch Around the Water Cooler on Buddy's Sports Page this week, here's what you missed.
There's not much pretty about Scotty Wilbekin deking on his cat and mouse routine, darting in and pulling back almost like a semi-do-over, dumping a ball screen to Will Yegat, a guy who only shoots as a last resort. The heart of their offense, however, is their defense and their zone trap. They turn over the opposing player and attack their will. They've come a long way since Donovan had to scour the parking lots for a quorum to hold practice. And even though it took his former team manager to fill the void and walk-on Jacob Kurtz came aboard, he has wound up playing significant minutes. It is true, the experts say, that success is 90% about showing up. And the firm of Wilbekin, Young, Prather, and Yegat, the seniors, will all graduate magna cum laude from Donovan's School of Grit and Determination.
Around the Water Cooler, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 o'clock on Buddy's Sports Page, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. An Afghan security guard kills 3 U.S. doctors, wounding a nurse. The Americans volunteering at a Kabul hospital.
Any such attack on civilians at a hospital is despicable and cowardly.
State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki disturbing reports about a VA hospital here.
Republican Congressman Jeff Miller, who chairs the House Veterans Affairs Committee, said last week that as many as 40 veterans trying to get treatment at the Phoenix VA hospital died before they could be admitted. Now, the Veterans Affairs Department says its independent inspector general is looking into the allegation.
Fox Radio Steve Taylor at the close on Wall Street. The Dow unchanged, the NASDAQ up 21, the S&P up 3. Yankees pitcher Michael Pineda suspended by Major League Baseball for 10 games, 2 starts, for using pine tar during last night's loss to the Red Sox. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Ladies, how many pounds have you gained since turning 40? If you're like an average woman, probably 5 or more. How many times have you stood in front of the mirror and thought, I don't like my body, but I don't know what else to do? If this sounds like you, please call the Amberin hotline at 1-800-365-8470. At Amberin, we specialize in breakthrough solutions specifically tailored to women over 40, including hormonal balance, relief from menopausal symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats and sleeplessness, and effective weight loss. You see, after 40, the female body changes, so one-size-fits-all solutions may no longer work for you. We understand your unique challenges, and that's what makes us so different. Our solutions were designed specifically for you. So if you're a woman over 40 and you're tired of looking in the mirror and not liking what you see, call the Amberin hotline right now. Call 1-800-365-8470 and start losing pounds. Yes, pounds of extra weight. This exclusive offer is 100% guaranteed, but it won't last forever. So call right now. 1-800-365-8470. That's 1-800-365
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get the stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Your heating and air conditioning unit sure will get a workout this season, and you need to make sure it's in tip-top condition. Let Air Ducts Heating and Air give you that peace of mind by knowing your unit will work at its optimum efficiency, saving you time and money. Air Ducts is a full HVAC residential and commercial company. Air Ducts is family-owned and operated, so we treat you the way we want to be treated. Air Ducts also offers discounts for builders and commercial applications, so give us a call today, 352-304-6766. That number again, 352-304-6766. Air Ducts Heating and Air Conditioning.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.46% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 4/30/14.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
We're back on Buddy Sports Page on a Thursday. Continuing with the theme of golf, just talked about the Henry Ann Camp this weekend at Ocala Golf Club. Tiger Woods, buddy, you ever heard that name before?
Let's see, is he the guy they called Eldridge?
Yeah, Eldridge. Okay. He's, he had back surgery. Well, now he's doing light chipping and putting. There's zero setbacks or complications, according to a story on ESPN.com by Bob Herrig. He had microdiscectomy. It was to alleviate a pinched nerve that caused him distress. It is fortunate to Mr. Masters, as you know. He's doing a little more each day. His agent, Lee Steinberg, said he's getting to the point of light chipping and putters. Doctors and trainers seem to be pleased, but there's no timetable on when he plans to play competitively.
Good news is the pain has gone away.
The pain is gone, so he's doing light chipping and putting. No. There's no pain, no nerve, no tingling and everything, but there's still no time. If you ask me, I'm thinking he's not playing the U.S. Open either.
Well, isn't it the British Opens at Carnoustie, isn't it, this year?
Yes.
He loves that course. So my guess is if he's going to try to come back, the only problem
British Open,
yeah. And the only problem is with that is if he does that, the weather over there gets a little testy. It gets to be a cold, rainy day.
Well, that'll be a good test to see if his back is truly there or not.
Could be, for sure. Hey, the NBA, wow, crazy. LaMarcus Aldridge of the Rockets on fire. This guy he scored 48 and got 18 rebounds in the first game. 18 rebounds, okay? And he goes out and gets, he had a good game. He got a little lucky. Guess what? Last night, he gets 43 points. He became the first player since LeBron James, who was then with the Cavaliers, to score 40 points in consecutive playoff games. So, and the only other players to do that, Michael Jordan and Tracy McGrady. So I got to look this guy up. I don't know a whole lot about LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, buddy, of course he's a great scorer, but I think one of the reasons he's doing so well in these past two games is he presents such a matchup problem for the Rockets because the Rockets start Chandler Parsons and Terrence Jones in the 4 and the 5, and obviously Dwight Howard. Well, you're going to put Dwight Howard on him, well, he's going to step back and hit the 17, 18, 19-footer all day on Dwight Howard, but then you put Chandler Parsons or Terrence Jones on him, and he'll back him down all day and take him inside. So the Rockets, unless they junk it up in games 3, 4, and 5, I don't know how they're going to stop them.
Yeah, we got 3 games tonight, I know, Austin.
Yes.
And like we said earlier, the home court advantage is kind of gone by the boards. The top 3 seeds in the Western Conference all have lost their home court advantage. All 3. Spurs, Thunder, and Clippers all lost one of their first 2 games at home. So that's not going to. However, there are teams having a worse time than them.
Yes.
Including Houston.
Right.
And including Chicago. So what you got for
tonight?
Games?
Tune in at 7 on NBA TV if you got it. Pacers Hawks. This will be Game 3 in Atlanta. 8 p.m. on TNT. You got the Thunder and the Grizzlies. That game is tied at 1, going to Memphis. Series is tied at 1, going to Memphis. And the nightcap, 10:30 p.m. If you're staying up late, you catch the Clippers and the Warriors. That'll be Game 3 in Golden State, and that series is tied at 1 as well. So that's what you got for tonight.
NBA, all right, for sure. Getting back to that thing with the pine tar, Pineda, which
you can't get away from that, can you?
Well, I mean, it's amazing the guy put it on his neck. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about what if he had gone out there and had it one inning and then come out the next time and didn't have it. I wonder if they go to replay, see what they had before then. Replay being used in baseball now, and they still haven't quite figured it all out. But there's an incident where the replay wouldn't come into play. But it's going kind of tough right now on the umpires and the replay people. But eventually it'll work itself out. And that was the topic of your conversation yesterday in your Go Long segment around the water cooler, Tom Schmitz.
1 month into replay in the majors, and mistakes are abundant. Major League Baseball say they may not have the same angle in New York as teams and fans have in stadiums around the country. Umps ask New York for a ball and strike count, and then the replay official gets that wrong.
Got it wrong. Balls
being transferred from gloves to hands are now being looked at differently, so replay is obviously a failure, right? Well, let me remind you. The first recording was an almost unlistenable version of Mary Had a Little Lamb. One of the Wright brothers, a few months after helping with the first flight, died in a plane crash. And Apple, the first Apple computer, was unusable. But those have all shown that things improve. Have you ever been to a new restaurant? Usually this is a bad experience. But if the food is good, you'll go back. You just wait for the bugs to be worked out. Remember, replay is like that. Just give Major League Baseball a chance. Replay will come through for us. It did in the NFL, and we thought it didn't have a chance then, too.
All right, good job. Yesterday's show, so we talked the Derby. There are 2 horses that were pointed out to us as local horses to root for. Tom, can you remember those names?
Dances with Fate, and that's all I got.
Wildcat Red.
Wildcat Red, and it's what Michael Compton said yesterday. We talked to him about getting ready for the Derby. First Saturday in May, and Michael gave us a little prep job on what to look for in the Derby this year.
You do, yeah. This year, we've been a little light in the last couple of years, especially, with Florida bred runners. But this year there's 2 right now, Dance with Fate and Wildcat Red. So
Dance with Tate?
Dance with Fate.
Fate, okay.
So right now
it's yeah.
And what was the other one?
Dance with Fate. The other one is Wildcat Red.
Wildcat Red.
Both of them are just Florida connections through and through. They were bred here. Dance with Fate, he comes off a big win at Keeneland in their traditional Derby prep, and that's the Bluegrass Stakes. And he's by a stallion named Two Step Salsa, who stands here in Ocala at Getaway Farm. And he was bred by Tom and Lori Fackler's Best of Luck Farm, which is also here in Marion County. And then the Facklers sold the horse at OBS last year.
All right, that's our man, Michael Compton, on the Derby, which we'll be following here as we get closer and closer. Got to have Michael back on again. So our friend Charlie Kay was quite impressed yesterday, and Charlie, of course, from up in Georgia, got a chance to sit on the show yesterday and learn a little about the horses. And I'll never forget Charlie when he said at lunchtime, Tom, driving to Ocala for the first time, said, "You got horses here."
Yeah. He didn't know that this was horse country.
We have a few horses, correct. Interesting day yesterday. We had a chance to talk to him. Checked in on FSU football. I was really surprised when we talked to Ira Schofel, sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, about how good this team might be next year. Their schedule is a little tougher. They pick up Notre Dame. And I asked him about a number. If you had to pick a number right now, how many games the Seminoles would win? This is what Ira Schofel, sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, said yesterday about the Seminoles.
I think the big thing to me is the offensive line. We thought would be really good. It was better than I expected. I think the fact that you have 4 guys now who are 3-year starters, and then the fifth guy, the new starter who's replacing Brian Stork at center, Austin Barron, has actually started some in the past. I mean, they just looked exceptional. Usually you'll see a breakdown here or there, and I know the defense was pretty vanilla, but they really protected. I mean, Jameis dropped back 59 times and wasn't sacked once. They did a really nice job. Of course, you could always turn around and say, well, what was Florida State's first-team defensive line doing, and what were the linebackers doing? And I think that might have been a little bit of concern that the first-team defensive line didn't make many big plays. They also had a couple guys out and were limited because of injuries. The other big, I think, positive for an unexpected positive maybe was the wide receiver core, especially the young receivers. Losing Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, that was a big loss right there in Benjamin. I mean,
yeah, he caught 15 touchdown passes last year. He was the guy. I mean, obviously late in the season against Florida and against Auburn in the championship game, he took over those games. And you lose him, and they're going to have to look to some young receivers. They have a couple of older guys like Scooter Higgins and Christian Green, who had a lot of hype coming in, but have never really done it at the college level. I think there's a chance they may get passed by some of those young guys like Jesus Wilson, they call him Bobo Wilson from South Florida, and Isaiah Jones from the Panhandle, and obviously Kermit Whitfield from Orlando. Those 3 guys all came in last year, and I think those guys may move ahead of some of the other upperclassmen.
Ira Schofel from Tallahassee Democrat. I asked Ira, I said, pick a number if you had to make a number right now, a number of wins for Florida State next year. He said 11. Looks like the Noles might be back. Speaking of football, I mentioned this earlier. We'll talk about it more tomorrow when we get into our sports page out at Gateway Bank. NFL schedule came out. Boy, everybody's just talking about it. It's a whole show about it. One of the things that I found interesting, supposedly NFL didn't want to schedule the Seahawks for too many primetime games because their teams blow out everybody. There's blowouts. So they didn't give them that many primetime games. But looking at the schedule, one of the critics said the team that really had a tough schedule that got really kind of hosed in this deal, the Denver Broncos. So their schedule was the second weakest in the league last year, but it's about as tough as it could possibly get. We'll discuss this tomorrow. AFC West, of course, is a pretty tough place to play. And the team they thought that benefited the most, the Colts, thought they have a pretty easy schedule. So I guess it depends upon your projections of who they're playing against and how good those teams might be. So, Tom, we missed something earlier this week. It was a big day up in Chicago, the 100th celebration of Wrigley Field. I saw Ernie Banks was there, a lot of the old Cubs and stuff.
Ernie Banks, Andre Dawson.
All the names.
Just from years. But the amazing thing is the guy that played there 8 years that didn't even get invited. And whether you like it or not, whether he used steroids or not, Sammy Sosa should have been invited to the 100-year celebration of Wrigley. He played with the Cubs from 92 to, I think it was 92.
In the 90s, as we say.
92 to 2004. Mm-hmm. He was a 98 National League player, the MVP, National League MVP. He hit 66 home runs that year. It was just one of 3 years when he hit more than 60 home runs. Sammy Sosa was there. If Bud Selig was there, the man who oversaw the era of steroids, Sammy Sosa should have been there too. And a lot of Cub fans, if you followed it on Twitter, Cub fans everywhere, come on Cubbies, we celebrate our 100th Wrigley Field birthday today and no Sammy Sosa invite. There's no Sammy Sosa at Wrigley Field, but Bud Selig's there. Well, Matt Johnson of Cub fans, it's an absolute disgrace the Cubs did not have Sammy Sosa at the Wrigley Field 100-year celebration today. So I think it was a disgrace as well. Sammy Sosa was part of the Cubs' history, part of Wrigley Field history, and whether you think he did steroids or not, he was an integral part of what is Wrigley Field.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, but that's your opinion, and you just stated it. We'll take a break. We come back. Franz Beard joins us for the final segment here on a Thursday edition of Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
If you didn't catch Around the Water Cooler on Buddy's sports page this week, here's what you missed.
When you think of the top 5 golfers in the world, Roy McIlroy, Phil Mickelson, Graham McDowell, Luke Donald, Lee Westwood, and yes, even Tiger Woods are all names that come to mind. But according to Patrick Reed in his post-win interview after the WGC event this weekend, he's a top 5 golfer.
Not so much, but go ahead.
His resume is impressive.
That's awesome.
His resume is impressive. He's also the youngest player to ever win a WGC event. While you might not agree with Patrick Reed's statement about where he ranks, and I disagree with him as well, his bravado is refreshing on a tour that needs a little attitude right now. He may not be a top 5 yet, but his bravado to me is number 1, and his pedigree is really good too.
Around the Water Cooler, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 o'clock on Buddy's sports page, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Good talk, great conversation. WOCA, News Talk 1370.
Uh-oh.
Is that what I thought it was?
As long as you don't think it was me running over a sprinkler head, then no, it wasn't.
Oh, brother.
Don't worry about it. I'll just add it to the honey-do list.
If you had signed up for Mike Scott Plumbing's irrigation package in the first place, you wouldn't have to do anything.
What? Mike Scott Plumbing does irrigation too?
Yeah. I told you they have packages where they take care of everything.
Yeah, but I broke it, so they're not going to cover that.
But with their annual irrigation maintenance plans, you never have to pay for another service charge or broken sprinkler head ever again, regardless of the fault.
So that means I break it, they fix it.
That's what I said, Mr. Genius.
Okay, you win. How do I sign up?
I thought you'd never ask. Call Mike Scott Plumbing today and ask about their irrigation maintenance plans. 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
People want a partner who feels passionately about something, whether it's modern art, Italian cooking, or kickboxing. By declaring something as your passion, you'll weed out people who don't feel the same way. When our personal windows are broken, meaning we've let something slide, we start to feel that our lives are unmanageable and out of control, then everything starts to slide. Women now do find bald men much more appealing than men with a thick head of hair. It seems we now associate baldness with athletes and super action heroes.
Intelligence for your life. Don't miss this stuff.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. We're in Florida. Today will be partly sunny, but there can be a spotty shower or thunderstorm this afternoon and evening, the high 82 to 86. And mainly clear overnight, lows ranging from 61 in a few inland spots to 67 on the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny and very warm, high 84 to 88. And for Saturday, mostly sunny and quite warm, high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
WOCA, Ocala.
All right, welcome to the program now. France Beard from up in Gainesville. And France, we're just a couple weeks past the spring game. And I was talking to Joe Williams from Denver today, and we got time for one quick comment on this about the fact that the SEC has lost a ton of quarterbacks. And I started thinking about it. I couldn't really name but about 3 in the SEC who might start this year. And, Georgia's lost Aaron Murray. Obviously Manziel's gone. Alabama's got to start over again. South Carolina's got Dylan Thompson. So, it may be a quarterback weak league this year unless someone steps up.
I would disagree because I think that Bo Wallace at Ole Miss is a terrific quarterback. Dak Prescott
at Mississippi State, Dan Mullen thinks that he's the best quarterback that he's had since Tim Tebow. He makes very, very favorable comparisons with Dak Prescott and Tebow. Brandon Allen is going to be a much improved quarterback at Arkansas this year. They like Justin Worley. They said he had a great spring up at Tennessee. Hudson Mason had a phenomenal spring at Georgia. The kid at Nick Marshall back at Auburn, in fact, he could win the Heisman Trophy. So the names aren't as familiar because they haven't been around as long. For example, Murray started for 4 years. A.J. McCarron started for 3. Mettenberger started for 2. But there's no shortage of talent. There's talent in the league, just a lot of new names, buddy.
Well, Marshall, I agree with you on. Others, I'm not sure. But Driscoll, if he fulfills his potential, can be among the best right now. People shouldn't be writing Jeff Driscoll off.
I agree with that. And the big thing for Jeff Driscoll is stay healthy. I think if he could stay healthy in this offense, the way that Kurt Roper likes to get the ball out of his hands and lets the quarterback do what he does best, I think he could have a phenomenal year. And, of course, it's going to take a phenomenal year.
Yeah, let me just jump in real fast and get your – let me get something real fast because we're out of time. I want to get your thought. I guess they said we should give Will Muschamp a mulligan, at least for the first half of the season. You agree or disagree?
Oh, I would say that we should, but it ain't. But the fan base isn't going to do that. He could be vastly improved and still go 6-6 this year, buddy.
Yeah, so not too optimistic. So, well, anyway, I'm in favor of giving it a mulligan. And, even though, and I've been one of his harshest critics. Remember last year I was the one who said he should be fired and gave you 10 reasons. All right, now you're watching NBA basketball real fast. Who's your team to win it all? You like the Heat?
I still think the Heat's the team to beat. I think that's LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. So those three are when they're at their best, and they certainly are in the playoffs, the Heat are just about impossible to beat.
And then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. Wow, unbelievable. Hey, Franz, thanks for being on. We'll talk to you Monday, all right? Franz Beard from up in Gainesville, up in Gatortown up there, giving us a little information and a few thoughts about the Gators. I want to thank our guest today, Jeff Holcomb, and his daughter, Corey, as a matter of fact. Tanya Green telling us about this weekend's Real Estate Expo. Of course, you heard from Franz Beard, and, of course, all the people that we replayed their stuff from yesterday. So on behalf of our broadcast partner, Tom Schmitz, and for Austin Statman Tatman, and Ryan, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.